Do not worry.
Everybody. What up, everyone? Welcome to another war edition of Do Not Worry, Israeli occupation edition, folks. You know, when it's when Israel is invading, it's time to smoke a cigarette, folks. Hey, what's up? Why did I stop the Lebanese anthem? Forgive the smoking, folks. It's we got special circumstances right now. Okay, we got war, we got invasion, we got occupation. North Star Radio says, I am Spartacus. No, I am Spartacus. Good. Stressful times, folks. Stressful times. We got Comrade Casey in the chat, y'all. Comrade Casey. Yeah, you know shit's going down when I'm smoking a cigarette. All right, folks. I knight you all. You have all been knighted. Officially. Protector of the innocents. I just watched Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. Shit was fun. Shit was nice. Welcome, everyone, to the stream. Israel has entered southern Lebanon. They're occupying, they plan on occupying like 10% of our country. Shit's going down. Airports are closed. Everything's falling apart. What can I say? What can we say? You know? Welcome to the chat, folks. Welcome to the live stream. I'm your host, Anthony, coming to you from the heart of Lebanon in the 09. Shit's popping. AU Filter says, hey, glad to see you live. Was wondering and hoping you're all safe. We're safe. We're all doing well. We're doing well. The crew is off. We don't want nobody. I gave them the option. Hey, if anyone's interested in filming, it's up to you. No one answered. So I'm guessing they don't want to show up, folks. But I mean, hey, I don't want them to show up. It's more fun this way. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But if you guys do want to watch Nour and Karine, folks, I've pinned the Patreon link on top of the description. They have just released the first episode of their fantasy review board show where they read bestiality books about bears having sex with vampires. It's been a big hit on Patreon. So if you guys want to check that out, feel free to subscribe to our Patreon. Let me take a second to thank some of our lovely patrons, like God-tier patrons like Ilyan Mujabir and Yalla Mabruk, superhero patrons like Claudia, Khawla, and Ahmad, Dr. William Watfa, the Boobs Doctor, Muhammad Mruwe, blonde patrons like Bam Venusaur, Daniel Nechle, and Mercedes W, and brand new abductee patrons who have joined, I believe, simply to read the bestiality, Jade, Selena Francis, or Selena Francis, and Yusra Yusuf. Thank you guys so much for supporting us on Patreon. If you guys want to watch that exclusive content, and you want some Nour and Karine, maybe they might be able to film something while, you know, the war's going on. I don't know. Excuse me. Sarah says, my older sister is going to travel to Canada. Is the airport open? How's our airport doing, guys? I know a lot of flights to Beirut have been canceled, and a lot of flights from here have been canceled. Shit's popping around the airport. Jim D. Dukers with a $5 dono says, the mayor's office gives Anthony an official smoking pass during the occupation. Thank you, Mayor Jim. Exactly, guys. These are special circumstances right now. Okay, these aren't normal times. And Jim also gifts 5 Do Not Worry memberships. Holy shit, Jim, we can't do this anymore, Jim. We can't do this anymore, Jim. Not at the start of the show. Speaking of members, we have a members goal, folks, of 500 members. The plan is to do a subathon in the middle of the month, but it's starting to feel like that might be fucked up. I don't know, guys. I don't know what to do anymore. You see, war getting in the way of all of my work. I was working. I told you guys I was working. Well, I think I mentioned that yesterday. There was a There was like some kind of ad that I was writing, helping to write. I was part of like a writer's team for like a little mini campaign that was gonna film in Dubai in April. I don't know if that thing's still gonna happen, man. And that was going to be like a kind of a, you know, a good job, a decently paying gig. That's most likely going away. And you know what I mean? You can't even do subathon. Like, it's fucking crazy. It's crazy. You know what I mean? But I have an idea. I have an idea to maybe make it doable. I'll share that with you guys later. Hey, if you guys would like to support us via memberships, feel free to do so. Members get an exclusive live stream every week. And I'm sorry, I'm behind on exclusive members content for the gaming channel and for this channel. For members content, guys, just like there's war. Everyone's like kind of fucking down and depressed. Don't really know what to do. Everyone's kind of lost and confused. We're kind of observing the situation. I feel weird doing any gaming right now. Like I was supposed to do a gaming stream yesterday with my best friend Elias, play some Dark Souls. That just does not feel appropriate right now. Or like maybe after I cover the news, I could play some Dark Souls, but like just playing Dark Souls and ignoring what's happening, I can't do that. So that's a thing. So let me sheathe my sword. Yet again, this is a reminder. This sword was handed to my great-grandfather by Haile Selassie, the Emperor of Ethiopia. The bringer of rain. Oh, the sword of the king. The Shah. Okay, anyways. So, Paz, hello. Spooky boy, hello. Spooky says YouTube will not allow me to super chat. I think we had a problem with the chat in general like a few days ago, but I think it's been working again, thankfully. Not just for super chat, just so that people can share and speak here. Hayla says Anthony playing video games is probably the best way to regulate emotions. Maybe not Dark Souls. Dark Souls is not the best way to regulate emotions, but I do need an outlet. So I might be doing some kind of a gaming stream this week. I have to, guys. I think I have to. We need to try to maintain some kind of normalcy, right? Because if we have to maintain a balance, and I tend to fully jump into whatever situation is happening, and I tend to fully immerse myself in it. So if it's war, that's all I'm looking at. I'm just consuming war-related content and news, and you can't do that. I learned the hard way during the Gaza genocide, and then when the war came here, like, it was all we were living. And how can you not? Like, how can you disconnect when it's happening in your own country? It's very hard. It's going to be a challenge. And this is like, you know, it's how do I navigate the war psychologically while people are homeless, while people are starving, while people are dying, etc., etc., etc. I sound so silly even talking about it. But anyways, let's empty this ashtray. Members, we love you. We appreciate you. Let me take a second to thank some of our lovely YouTube members. Members such as Silent Wraith, P70, Confetti PI, MK, Rob209, Street Cat Munchies, Kitty Goes Woof. Wait, kitties are supposed to go meow. What is this? Diana Delbani, JM1013, Starry Right, Starry Right, Big Dick Cat Girl. Whoa. Big Dick Cat Girl. This is we got a problem here. What's going on here? Riley Stratton 6772. Ignar Husky. By the way, we do not have a problem with Big Dick Cat Girl. You can be a cat girl and have the biggest dick on the block. I'm surprised by these names. You can have the word dick in your YouTube name. That's funny. Sultan Alam 7352. We love you, appreciate you. Whether you've gifted memberships, whether you've never paid for your membership, whether you're out there gifting memberships, we appreciate you. We love you. Thank you so much for helping support the channel and helping the crew remain paid. That is very kind and generous of you. We love you. I'm gonna try my best to do the members live streams, guys. I'm sorry. Let's close this out. What are we talking about today? Today we got a lot of war stuff, folks. Lots of war content. Let me open up some links. I got a lot of links that I got to open up. Sorry, I should have done this before going live. I tried to start my live a little bit earlier because I've been starting a little bit late and finishing late. And it is tiring, folks. It is tiring. And I'm also trying not to coincide right when Chris is streaming. Friend of the show, Chris Kunzler. Because there's so many people streaming right now, people that I love. Like, there's Brittany Simon streaming right now. There's Sean the Black. There's Chris Kunzler. There's me. I love myself, you know? Can't I love myself? So it's a busy time. You know, people have a lot of great creators to choose from. Michelle, whoa, what? What's happening here? Michelle Bagnall sends a, is that like a $50 dono? 40 CHF? That's so generous. What is this? What is even CHF? That looks like over 50 bucks. What is this? That's crazy. I can't see the super sticker though, because I have a problem with my YouTube. I can't see what the sticker is, but that's so generous. That's so kind. Why would you do this? What is this? Why? Michelle, that's way too kind. Mike from PA is also live right now. Yeah, you see there's a lot of it's a pretty busy time, so Michelle, what is happening? W's in the chat for Michelle, folks. What is this? That's way too insanely generous and kind. Helping the channel out tremendously. Swiss francs. CH. Oh, is little dude riding a rocket? Oh, thank you so much. It's a little dude riding a rocket. Well, thank you so much. That's way too, Michelle Bagnall, that's way too kind. Why would you do this? We are not worthy. I might have a king's sword, an emperor's sword, but that does not mean I am worthy of such generosity. Okay, so I'm opening up a bunch more links. So guys,
Qatar saying an Iranian ballistic missile has struck.
Ooh, you got a little teaser of what's coming up, folks. We're watching some CNN. Okay, and then now everything we're talking about right now, we're gonna start with. I think that's the order. Again, I'm not a news covering person. That's not my job. I'm not a professional, guys. What I'm doing is looking at a lot of Twitter. I'm trying to stay as up to date as possible. Whatever news I'm getting of Lebanon getting hit, footage from Tehran. I'm trying to gather it. Okay, the way I'm organizing my stuff is that first we start by what's happening in Iran. Then we're looking at the surrounding Gulf countries and the surrounding Middle Eastern countries. Then we move into what's happening in Lebanon. And that is kind of how I've been organizing these live streams. I'm sorry if they seem a little bit haphazard or not organized. This is not what we normally do. We just started getting out of like covering war content to like trying to do some fun stuff again, like old school DNW. And that's what live streaming, that's what just living in Lebanon is like. This is a look into our real lives, I guess. We don't really get a lot of time off, or we don't deal with crazy shit like this. So I guess this gives you the most authentic look you might get into Lebanon, what it's like living here. Okay, let us start. Jim sends a $2 dono and says, Anthony, if you're not worthy, no one is. Jim, you're way too kind, way too generous. Jim, if they close down the airport, I'm never going to be able to get those damn books. So now that's what I'm thinking about too. I got to pop my ass over there before shit goes down. Jim, thank you so much. You're way too kind and generous as well. You guys are all way too fucking crazy. What's happening here, man? Michelle, again, thank you so much. I'm trying to see if Michelle sent in any other messages. Michelle, much love. Okay. Nadim, what up? We got Nadim in the chat. Our beloved Nadim. Okay. Getting into Iran. Let me move this back. This was moved yesterday because I was reacting to some H3 and the loaner box. Okay. New. Trump's commanders tried to brainwash U.S. troops by telling them to prepare for Jesus' return and issue chilling Armageddon prophecy. Daily Mail. They're telling them that the war with Iran is God's plan. So you got a bunch of American generals telling the troops all around the Middle East that, like, yo, this is God's will, this is God's plan, and we are preparing for Jesus' return and Armageddon. Don't you love it when wars take on like a religious aspect and a religious meaning like this? Just like the Israelis making this about like Judaism and an existential war for the survival of the Jews, and this is our holy land. And now you have the Americans being like, this is a God's promised war. We're here to fulfill God's plan and bring on Armageddon. Yeehaw! Now let's go kill some sand N-words. You know, but by the way, you know, I was called, me and one of my best friends, my Syrian, I have two best friends called Elias, a Lebanese one and a Syrian one. Once me and my Syrian friend Elias were walking around George Mason University, and some dude just called us, hey, what up, sand N-words, from far. Isn't that crazy? And why is it okay? Why do they use the N-word for like Arabs? Like, I don't even, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not applicable. Like, I feel like I can't even say it. Like, it's not a word that is, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a word that is, like, it's extra, it's doubly offensive. So that strange experience. And the guy, I follow him on Instagram now. The guy who called us sand N-words. Weirdly enough, he never apologized for it, but, like, he's now, like, a huge, like, lefty on Instagram. Like, super, you know what I'm saying? So very weird. Nice little turn. he took a nice character development there. Became, I guess, very liberal. If I were to tell him that he said that, he probably would be mortified now. So yeah, just I don't know why I had to throw that in there. And I told you guys about that one time I got slapped for 9/11. That's nothing. I got slapped for 9/11 once by a drunk girl at a dorm party. That was crazy. A lot of you know the story. I've already shared it before. Those are my two racist experiences in America. Getting called a sand N-word and being slapped and being said that I was my people brought down the towers. Anyways, so yeah, this is a religious prophecy, God's plan. Drake might be involved. This is some footage. Again, this is some footage of Iran being liberated, folks, by American and Israeli democracy. You hear the sound? It's the sound of freedom. This is the sound of freedom. World, hold on. Instead of messing with my future. Is it the same song? This is the sound. Look at that. This is democracy being spread. This is freedom being spread. Okay, y'all want your HBO Max? You guys want some Netflix, Blue Jeans, Coca-Cola, Reese's Pieces? What? Come get your Reese's Pieces. Come get your flaming hot Cheetos. Come get your Keebler Elf chocolate dipped cookies. Come get your Girl Scout cookies Thin Mints. This is what Tehran's looking like right now. This is an Israeli attack in western Iran, near the border with Iraq. More freedom and democracy being spread across the Middle East. Yes, Haley, for the side of freedom fries, animal style fries. Animal style, you got to have that gravy or whatever, you know what I mean? Those onions. Yep. There we got, as commenters are saying, like Jaish, at Jaish and Adrias Daily, there goes our healthcare. Yeah, this is why Americans don't have healthcare. This is why most Americans can't afford a $400 emergency. This is why most Americans live paycheck to paycheck. This is why most Americans can't afford their rent. This is where all of your tax money's going. Thankfully, I don't make nearly enough money to pay enough in taxes. So what I do is I pay my tax guy to like file my taxes for me because I have no fucking idea how to do that properly without ending up owing a bunch of taxes. But because I make less than like a certain bracket for American citizens that live abroad, I don't pay anything. But like I also don't qualify for like any social security or anything because I don't technically pay into the system. So I'm fucked in that regard. I'm sure that Iranians living abroad, the Iranian diaspora is loving this. Oh, thank you so much for liberating my cousin. Just unhinged. So this is the moment, this is an Iranian warship that was hit by an American submarine, and I think this was done in international waters, and like the US government has been gloating about this. Like they thought they were safe because they were in international waters, but we got them anyways. Like literally gloating about their war crimes on fucking Twitter. This is pretty fucking crazy though. Look at, oh my god, dude. That's fucking crazy. My god, man. Apparently there's like 78 people missing, hundreds injured. I'm sure there's a whole bunch, like I'm sure all the missing, you can call them AKA dead and killed. Oh, Jess, not Jesh. I changed my name to Arabic. Jess Polito. Oh, Jess. Didn't write Jess Polito. What up? Oh, Sunflower Dragon with an insanely generous $20 super chat. Holy shit, Sunflower Dragon. Says, love you and the crew, Anthony. I wish I could surround you all with protection. I loathe any American that I hear support this or makes jokes. Ignorant, profoundly stupid people with Sunflower Dragon. Thank you so much for your generosity and for the support. Always, you know, throughout the last couple of years. I mean, you've been an awesome community member. That's so fucking generous. You guys are fucking insane, man. Don't worry about us. We're okay. Again, I'm out of the whole crew. I live in the safest area, most likely. Now, there is something like if Israel decides to go crazy and attack Christians, there is something near my house that they could decide to explode and kill me in one fell swoop. But that's most Lebanese people. We can, like, you know what I mean? It's but I live in a Christian area. We're fine. You know what I mean? Nour and Karine live in Beirut currently. You have all the people that are evacuating the south. Like, I feel bad even complaining about this, but there's a lot of Lebanese people that, like, if it's not happening to them directly, they don't talk about it at all. And like, that's not how we live. That's not how we do things. Like, Demi and myself are both very much just thinking about this every single day. We're very much affected about this and trying to think of ways that we can help Lebanese people. So that's something that I want to share with you guys eventually. Thank you so much, Sunflower. That's very, very kind and generous. So insane. I mean, just insane shit. You know what I mean? What's happening around the world, man? This is unbelievable. Here's Pete Hexeth. Gloating. He says you can say, he's talking about... Let's see what he has to say.
In a few days, in under a week, the two most powerful... In a few days, in under a week, the two most powerful air forces in the world will have complete control of Iranian skies, uncontested airspace. I hope all the folks watching understand what uncontested airspace and complete control means. It means we will fly all day, all night, day and night, finding
Wait 1 second.
fixing and finishing the missiles and defense industrial base of the Iranian military. Finding in a few days, in under a week, the two most powerful air forces in the world will have complete control of Iranian skies, uncontested airspace. I hope all the folks watching
Uncontested airspace, complete control, so complete domination.
understand.
And again, Iran has been doing pretty well. I mean, Iran has been defending themselves. They've been acquitting themselves pretty decently. They've been attacking a lot of U.S. bases in the area.
What uncontested airspace and complete control means.
Yeah, what does it mean? What does uncontested airspace and complete control mean? Please paint a vivid picture for us.
Understand what uncontested airspace and complete control means. It means we will fly all day, all night, day and night, finding, fixing, and finishing the missiles and defense industrial base of the Iranian military, finding and fixing their leaders and their military leaders, flying over Tehran, flying over Iran, flying over their capital, flying over the IRGC.
AKA terrorizing the people. What do you think that psychologically, what does it do for people to hear drones and hear airplanes every single day just flying above? They do that in Lebanon all the single time. Psychological warfare. We have drones buzzing around Beirut, buzzing around the south all day, every day, whether they plan on bombing or not. It's just to keep you guessing. You just can never feel safe. You can never feel at ease. There's always that buzzing sound, that constant threat, and that sense that you're always being watched. So this is how they're liberating Iran. We're going to watch you. We're going to terrorize you. We're going to fly over every single second. You have no moment of rest, no moment of respite.
Iranian leaders looking up and seeing only U.S. and Israeli air power every minute of every day until we decide it's over.
That sounds like liberation to me. Holy shit. Let's go, folks. Until all you're going to see is American and Israeli planes and drones until we decide it's over. You're welcome, by the way. You're welcome. Would you like some fries? Would you like some freedom fries and a Diet Coke with that? Or a Coke Zero, our brand new invention. Where's my sword? I need my sword. They ain't letting me anywhere anymore, man. I'm not being let into any country. Are you fucking shitting me?
And Iran will be able to do nothing about it. B-2s, B-52s, B-1s, Predator drones, fighters, controlling the skies, picking targets. Death and destruction from the sky.
Ooh, that sounds nice.
B-2s, B-52s, B-1s.
Okay, 1 second. I got to do something while he's doing this. 1 moment. Will I find that video? Yes.
Predator drones, fighters, controlling the skies, picking targets. Death and destruction from the sky all day long. We're playing for keeps. Our warfighters have maximum authorities granted personally by the president and yours. In a few days, in under a week, the two most powerful air forces in the world will have complete control of Iranian skies, uncontested airspace. I hope all the folks watching understand what uncontested airspace and complete control means. It means we will fly.
How absurd does that all feel and look right now? This fucking dumbass dancing over there celebrating that her people are being fucking murdered while this fucking asshole gloats about how he plans to terrorize the Iranian people with complete control of their airspace?
All day, all night, day and night, finding, fixing, and finishing the missiles and defense industrial base of the Iranian military. Finding and fixing their leaders and their military leaders. Flying over Tehran, flying over Iran, flying over their capital, flying over the IRGC, Iranian leaders looking up and seeing only U.S. and Israeli air power every minute of every day until we decide it's over. And Iran will be able to do nothing about it. B-2s, B-52s, B-1s, Predator drones, fighters, controlling the skies, picking targets. Death and destruction from the sky.
Death and destruction from the sky. You're welcome for this Liberation Iran. Adress Daily says, I stay a few miles away from a naval base airfield that has fighter jets, and they've been almost constantly flying here every day. Constant jet noise. They are prepping to go out there, I suppose. Ugh, it's fucking insane.
All day long. We're playing for keeps. Our warfighters have maximum authorities granted personally by the...
This motherfucker thinks he's in a fucking movie, in a Paramount movie produced by the Ellisons. We're playing for keeps. Iran, you hear what I'm saying? We're playing for keeps. We're coming for you with everything we got. Like, you're not... Who fucking wrote the script? Michael Bay, my man? Shut the fuck up. Dumbass, your fucking Nazi tattoos. Piece of shit. Here's a friend of the show, Cal Kalinske. I mean, I wish he was a friend of the show. I'm a fan of Cal Kalinske. He's reacted to one of my clips, folks. He's reacted to one of my clips complaining about the war, thinking I was going to die 2 years ago. Pete Hegseth says, Pete Hegseth declares Iran is not a fair fight and isn't meant to be one. We are punching them while they're down, is what he says. So Cal Kalinske responds to that by saying, this is Secretary of War Crimes Pete Kegsbreath's way of admitting we're carpet bombing innocent men and women and children. This country has undergone complete moral collapse. U.S. plus Israel is the axis of Epstein, and they're creating the Fourth Reich. Could not be more true, could not be more accurate. I love Cal Kalinske. Here are, I mean, everybody, Democrats, liberal Zionists like Ethan Klein love to share footage of Iranians dancing and celebrating the death of Khomeini. Well, here's another Iranian lady who doesn't, and Iranian people who don't seem as happy about the death of Khomeini. Just again to show you that Iran is not a monolith. There are people that are happy that Khomeini is dead. There are people that are happy that he's dead, but that are upset that Israel and the U.S. did it. There are people that are happy that he's dead and that it's the U.S. and Israel that did it. There are people that are upset that he's dead and that Israel and the U.S. had anything to do with it. You have all sorts of combinations, okay? Here's one of those combinations. The woman... One second, lady. The woman said, our heads are held up high because our leader was martyred behind his office working for this country. He didn't get on a plane to flee the country. And if anyone here speaks Farsi, let me know. Now, you might think this lady's an extremist. A lot of people might disagree with her take, etc. That is fair. That is, I'm not contesting that. All I'm saying is people like her exist en masse in Iran.
از کی بترس؟ از آمریکا اسرائیلی که انقدر بزدلن که تا میزنن خودشون پا میشن میرن. از آقایی که تو دفتر کارش داشته کار میکرد.
همونجوری که آقا تو سخنرانی آخرشون گفتش که مثلی لا یبای و مثل یزید، مثل من با مثل یزید بیعت نمیکنه، نشون میده که آقا شجاعتش شجاعت حسینیه. شجاعت حسینی سنگر رو خالی نمیکنه، میدون خالی نمیکنه.
I don't understand this. But they're upset, folks. Okay, let's get into this real quick. Because this is kind of fucked up as well. A lot of people are talking that the U.S. and Israel are actually, I mean, for the idiotic Iranian diaspora that think that this is all about liberation, and just regular, just people in general that are cheering on this attack, this joint attack by the U.S. and Israel. There's also, I mean, look, they've been bombing police stations, they've been bombing hospitals, and they've been bombing police stations at very strategic locations. For example, this person right here is talking about U.S. and Israeli strikes are deliberately targeting Kurdish regions of Iran, border posts, police stations, and military bases. This isn't random, this is preparation. The CIA is already arming Kurdish forces for an uprising. Now airstrikes are clearing the path for thousands of Kurdish fighters from Iraq to pour into western Iran. They're trying to cause internal civil strife between the Kurdish factions and Iranians. They're arming the Kurdish factions apparently, and they're making sure that in all the areas bordering the Kurds and Iranians, they're getting rid of police stations, military bases, anyone who could protect the people essentially, and act as a buffer between the Kurds and the Iranians. They're trying to get rid of them. They're engineering a civil war inside of Iran, while Trump claims he forced Israel's hand, and Colonel McGregor says our bases are destroyed. The U.S. is quietly opening a fourth front. The war is expanding by the hour. Look at this, man. First of all, what such beauty, as fucked as this is, look at how beautiful the land is. Look at these snowy mountains. Such a shame, dude. This should not be happening. Like, stop this. I sound like such a hippie right now, but like, stop blowing up our beautiful fucking planet. We only have one. We've only got the one. This pale blue dot. To quote Carl Sagan, stop fucking doing this. My God. Here, let's see. Let's try to expand on this before we move into what's happening in the Gulf and the UAE and all that sort of shit. I don't mean that those places are shit, but like, you know what I'm saying. Iran. Oh my God, dude. It's even on.
We are learning that the CIA is also working.
It's literally on CNN. CIA working to arm Kurdish forces to trigger Iran uprising. Like, oh my God, dude, they just want instability, dude.
Looking to trigger some sort of an uprising inside of Iran. Now, this is a major and potentially explosive development in the war.
Literally. Oh, you think it could be explosive?
So let me tell you what we know here with these breaking details. Multiple people familiar with the plan are telling CNN that the Trump administration is working to arm Kurdish forces, who they then expect to take part in a ground operation in Iran in the coming days. Let's get to this crucial reporting. The CIA working to arm Kurdish forces to stage some sort of a major ground operation going inside.
And they're clearing the path by blowing up these police stations, military bases, literally anyone that could stand in the way, anyone that is armed that could protect the people. Gone. Dunzo.
Iran, they want to spark an uprising. The details are incredible. What are you learning?
That's right, Aaron. It's
Polish Bruce says the AirPod took me at it. That is a massive. Are they still making AirPods this big? And they both each have an AirPod.
A lot to unpack, honestly. This story continues.
LSD says I hate CNN. Well, you guys are going to hate CNN a lot more when it's taken over by Larry and David Ellison. Paramount just successfully outbid Netflix. They're going to own Warner Brothers and all of the affiliated news networks that they own, including CNN. So CNN's about to get way worse. Y'all best believe.
Develop at a breakneck speed and often in mind-bending ways. We spent some time this evening with a senior Iranian Kurdish politician here in Iraqi Kurdistan who basically told us that the expectation among Kurdish Iranian opposition forces is that they will be going into Western Iran as part of some kind of a ground operation over the course or at some point during the next few days, that they will have support from the U.S. and from Israel, though he would not be drawn as to what exactly that support.
That sounds like a recipe for fucking disaster. Are you kidding me? And this is orchestrated by the fucking dumbasses and the Trump administration and Pete Hegseth and Marco fucking Rubio and whatever fucking generals that they have and Israel and Netanyahu. Are you kidding me? And there are people that are actually celebrating this. I really think I've died and gone to hell. I really genuinely think I've died and gone to hell. There's no other explanation for any of this fucking madness.
Will look like. He also told us that President Trump himself had called the leader of the KDPI, which is one of these Iranian Kurdish opposition parties, today, and that they had what he categorized as, or characterized, I should say, as a positive conversation, though again, he did not give any details, and he said that we should be prepared for some surprises potentially tomorrow. Again, not giving details, but this is all coming at the same time as our colleagues Natasha Bertrand, Elena Trine, and Zachary Cohen are learning that the CIA has been working to arm Iranian Kurdish opposition forces with the goal of fomenting civil unrest in Iran. And
civil unrest, and who's going to pay the price for all of this? Who's going to be caught in the crossfire? Regular civilians like you and me, all of these people in the diaspora that are dancing and celebrating. It's going to be their relatives, their cousins, their grandparents, their brothers, their sisters, their friends who are going to be caught in the crossfire between Kurdish rebels that have been armed by Israel and IRGC forces. And yeah, and Pete Hegseth is out there fucking talking about raining hell down on Iran and looking up and not being able to see anything except American drones and Israeli airplanes. So yeah, we're in fucking hell. Haley D with a generous $5 donor. Thank you so much, Haley. Says, I've been trying to super chat about Pete and YouTube doesn't like any of my edits. Holy, really? Damn, man. Every censorship is getting so fucking bad, dude. You can't even say Zionist on TikTok. And I've been saying some unhinged shit over the last 3 days on this fucking stream. Honestly, I should really shut the fuck up. Blue-Eyed Tatty sends a €2 dono. Says, breaking news, water is wet. Thank you so much, Blue-Eyed Tatty. And thank you so much, Haley D, for the generous donos. The two of you, we love you. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, guys. Much love.
they spoke to a number of different officials who
insane.
characterized it in different
ways.
ways.
Yeah, let me know if you guys are struggling to send super chats. I'm curious to know how YouTube is censoring you and what it is that is sensitive, that what we can't say.
Some talked about sort of basically trying to pin down Iranian forces to create buffer zones where ordinary Iranians who are unarmed would have more freedom to go out on the streets and protest. Certainly our source that we spoke to said that the focus is very much on establishing control of a sort of semi-autonomous Kurdish run area.
Dude, this is a country of 92 million people. What do you mean you want civil unrest in Iran? And what do you think? Iranians are a bunch of fucking savages that are like going to start running around like animals if the government collapses? These are fucking educated and smart people. Like, they're going to be fine, I think. Like, you're just putting people in harm's way. I think people that are just expecting Iran to descend into fucking madness and chaos. Holy shit, the government, you know, Lebanon, as chaotic of a country as we are, like we were operating without a government for like 2 years. We had no president for years. Shit just fucking kept on rolling. We figured shit out. You know what I mean? Don't even ask me how we did it. The whole period was a blur. But we literally went for years without a president, without like a parliament. Shit was fucking shut down. It's like having a shutdown government for like 3 years, man. We were okay. So this is just going to cause fucking violence and confusion and death. I don't think this is going to change anything. Like, I don't understand what they're doing. Dizzle McFizzle sends a $2 dono and says, it feels like a boulder is crushing us. It's crazy. There's nothing anyone could do about it. And it's just a bunch of like petty children, rich children with weapons that are fucking toying with all of us. And we're all here existing at the whims of these fucking few petulant little fucks
of Iran, sort of like what you see here in Iraqi Kurdistan. But I mean, I can't even begin, Aaron, honestly, to get into the manifold reasons why this is incredibly fraught with risk and complexity. But one just off the top of my head is the leadership here in Iraqi Kurdistan, who have complex and challenging but vital relationships with Turkey, with Iran, who have made it clear that they want to be neutral in this conflict, and who are now potentially being put in a position of having to support this operation, whatever it's going to look like, because it's not going to be possible, realistically, to get supplies, weapons, training, etc., to these Iranian Kurdish forces without using Iraqi Kurdistan territory, which is because that's where they are. They are here along this border. So.
Yeah, and the U.S. and Israel have been great at dragging every single other neighboring country into their fucking mess. You know what I mean? And hey, this is not without blame. all the blame also goes back to these Arab nations, but like Iraq, any country that has allowed the U.S. to like build a base there or like use whatever assets they have in that country to attack Palestine or to attack Iran, it's on you. Qatar, Dubai, UAE, Saudi Arabia, whatever it is that you're doing to assist the U.S. in these fucking attacks and these genocides, whether we're talking Sudan, Yemen, Palestine, Iran now, Lebanon, whatever it is, you know, it's fair game at this point.
This is a rapidly developing story, and again, it's a lot to digest, and remains to be seen how, when Iran sees this reporting, is going to respond. Erin.
The United States, the CIA, is planning to rely on Kurdish Iranian forces to somehow cross in the border and awaken forces inside, some of which may have been earlier supplied with weapons or not, in some sort of an uprising.
Awaken forces inside in some sort of an uprising. I love, like, it's such a stupid plan that like the people on the news don't even know how to fucking sound like it makes any sense. They're planning on going inside and awakening the dragon using the crystal of Delphuge. It's like, what are we talking about? Awakening? What are you going to awaken exactly in there? With the hopes of maybe it going well. They plan on, like, what? Explain that again, Aaron Burnett.
Planning to rely on
sees this reporting is going to respond. Erin.
The United States, the CIA, is planning to rely on Kurdish Iranian forces to somehow cross in the border and awaken forces inside, some of which may have been earlier supplied with weapons or not, in some sort of an uprising.
Some sort, maybe, perhaps they'll try. But like, what the fuck is this? What are we doing? Is this running on hopes and dreams? Is this revolution running on hopes and dreams? It is. It fucking is. It's running on vibes. Listen, guys, we're gonna fucking send in those Kurds. Like, what are we doing here, man? And you got idiots in America, Iranian idiots, celebrating this nonsense. What is this? What's the word I'm trying to? Gobbledygook. What is this gobbledygook that you're talking about?
On Kurdish Iranian forces to somehow cross in the border and awaken forces inside, some of which may have been earlier supplied with weapons or not, in some sort of an uprising. Okay, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, in the politest form, this is probably not...
So that's a lot to take in. Oh, what do you think about that plan? You know, we're going to awaken the thing. Fuck, it's a great plan. It's a Donald Trump fantastic plan. The Iranian people crave democracy.
Good idea for multiple different reasons. If you're dealing with the United States, whose president is saying they didn't really have time to put in an evacuation plan for US citizens
For
here,
Americans. Yeah.
then trying to enact this, which is essentially an insurgency, which you need weapons, that takes a lot of time for serious planning. Now, the Kurds in the region are desperate for autonomy. They'll offer anything to anybody to have the shot at that, potentially. They've just been shut down, really, the Syrian Kurds in Syria by the new government there.
Right.
Another reminder, when the Syrian Kurds were last used by the United States before that betrayal in Syria, then they needed US special forces and air cover for 2 years to take out the ISIS caliphate, which covered a much, much smaller area than 90 million people of Iran. So the task is enormous. And so essentially, I think what we're seeing here is a US plan for a protracted sense of civil war, ultimately, in Iran. The notion that this force, if magic...
Sorry, I completely zoned out on what the guy fucking said.
Last used by the United States before that betrayal in Syria, then they needed US special forces and air cover for 2 years to take out the ISIS caliphate, which covered a much, much smaller area than 90 million people of Iran. So the task is enormous. And so essentially, I think what we're seeing here is a US plan for a protracted sense of civil war, ultimately, in Iran. The notion that this force...
Oh my God, dude. Jesus Christ, they want to fucking support. Yeah, how many Kurds is he sending in to control the 92 million people that are there? How many Kurds are they arming exactly?
If magic out of nowhere can distract Iranian security
But somehow,
forces,
if you give someone a gun, they're gonna go use it.
or it's going to
against their
confuse the police and RGC so much that the popular uprising will take over. Naive, I'm afraid. It feels like a suddenly reached solution that someone's desperately handed in the hope that it will give the Kurds some more traction here. And so it leaves me slightly concerned that this may be the beginning of the ground notion, the sort of next phase of all of this. Not well thought through, I think, is certainly a fair way.
None of this has been thought through. None of this. And you have idiots like Ethan Klein on their fucking podcast trying to whitewash this and fucking sell it to the world. And Eli Klein be like, is there proof that the 150 kids were killed? I'm not convinced about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing here? Haley D, holy shit, just gifted 10 do not worry memberships, folks. Holy shit. Haley D coming in clutch with those 10 memberships. We got 50 new members today. Holy fuck. W's in the chat for our queen Haley D, folks. W's in the chat for Haley. Thank you so much. I mean, whenever I do get to do that member stream, it's going to be good. It's going to be fun, hopefully, guys, with a lot of you there. Thank you to so much of you. And Cedar Down Under yesterday gifting us 50 memberships, going absolutely ape shit. You guys are way too kind and generous.
Discuss it, and a departure which could potentially see something go on here for years.
Karine, what do you think?
I do think this is a strategy of potentially playing with fire. The Kurds in Iran are wonderful people who've suffered tremendously under the Islamic Republic, but they constitute only 10% of the country's population. So they're never going to be able to really constitute an existential threat to the regime in Tehran. At the same time, I would argue the greatest countervailing force against the radical Islamism of the Iranian regime is Iranian nationalism. And I would say pluralistic Iranian nationalism, a nationalism that encompasses Persians, Kurds, Azeris, and others. And there's a real danger here, Aaron, that if Iranians feel that it's a US strategy to essentially try to factionalize and splinter the country.
It is their strategy. That is exactly the strategy. And Iranians on the ground know that for the most part. It's the Iranians that are outside of Iran, the ones that are living in Europe and in America, that for some reason are so blinded by all of this.
Something that they're very sensitive about, and I think that the vast majority of Iranians will be opposed to any outside attempts to try to threaten the territorial integrity of the country.
It's fascinating. I'm thinking what President Pezeshkian said to me and other reporters in the fall when he talked about how what happened last summer. He said strengthened national belief in the system. Now, obviously, they were mass demonstrations, so that was their spin. But I think it goes to the point that you're making, Karine, in some adjacent way. General Marks, we're just getting something in that I want to share with you here as Karine was speaking, and that is some new information from the commander of U.S. Central Command.
Okay, that's a lot of that. I mean, who the fuck knows what's going to happen? But like, yeah, it's the worst case scenario. I don't know if it's going to happen. Like, I think I'm going to trust the people of Iran not to fall for any of this shit. But like, the US and Israel are going for the worst case scenario. That's what they want. They want to create all this chaos. They want to create a civil war. Whoever thinks that this war can have any positive impact on the Middle East, except for like Israel, is completely mistaken and wrong and stupid. Moving on to a little bit of the sort of the effects that this war has been having on Gulf countries, the neighboring Arab countries, places like Dubai, Qatar, places that are not used to having this sort of things happen there. And then we'll move on to what is happening in Lebanon, which is Israel is invading the south. This is a tweet by Jayesh Thakkar, just kind of like sharing his experience and what's happening in Dubai. I'm guessing this is real. Nothing seemed like a parody in this, but let's see. It's like, hi, I'm stuck in Dubai for the last 3 days. For those who think we have free stay and free hotels, unfortunately, they are not giving us anything like that. Free stay is only available for the peoples are in Abu Dhabi. That's okay, I can pay the amount, but there is no one attending the call on the helpline number given by the Embassy of India in Dubai. So this is an Indian, perhaps businessman, who is stuck in Dubai. So that's okay. He's like, I can afford to pay my stay here in Dubai, but there's no one answering the call on the helpline on the number that's given to us by the Embassy of India in Dubai. I called more than 100 times. Also, now the flights are visible on the portals for Dubai to Mumbai or any other city. And we also try to book it, but it gets canceled every time before 6 to 7 hours for departure. So people have been able to like buy tickets out of the Dubai airport to fly back to India, for example, but 6 or 7 hours before the flight is supposed to depart, their flights get canceled. So people are stuck in this like, no man's land of like, they don't know what the fuck to do. The support flights given from the SpiceJet and Indigo from Fujairah to Mumbai are much more expensive, 80K to 1L per person. I don't know what that is in dollars. And the flights of Emirates are 40 to 50K, and after booking it, they're getting canceled too, and the amount are getting stuck in the refunds for 48 to 72 hours. We are even unable to book the next flights because our funds are stuck. It's emergency for me as my father is a heart patient and I can't give more stress to them here and the other country. We are tourists here. We came here for the good experience and we want to go out of here with the good experience. My kind request, whoever is reading this, please mention the responsible Twitter handles below this post. So this is just the experience from one Indian man in Dubai. Sounds pretty fucking stressful, to be stuck there on vacation. And I'm just imagining, not that I would ever go to Dubai for a vacation. Imagine you were there on vacation. It's already expensive. Hotels are already expensive. Imagine having to spend so much more money that you haven't budgeted for, that you maybe can't even afford, and you have to stay at the hotel for you have to pay for all these extra nights. That's hundreds, potentially thousands of dollars. You have to eat, you have to feed yourself. You're trying to call the helpline that the embassy's giving you, no one's fucking answering. It's horrible. And we can end all of that by saying F Dubai. But anyways, I have a wedding there, dude. I'm not gonna be allowed in anywhere, man. I'm not gonna be allowed in anywhere. If anyone searches my name, I'm fucked. Also, this is pretty funny. This stuff has been going viral. If you're in Dubai and post any videos of the attacks, you may end up in prison for 2 years or pay $50,000 in fines. The censorship machine has started. The freedom was an illusion all along. Big wake-up call. What freedom anyways? So if you're in Dubai and you post any videos or photos of the attacks, you might end up in prison for 2 years or pay $50,000 in fines. Let me try to translate this for you guys. I'm guessing this is a real ad. So here you go. It says, Al-ma'luma mas'uliyya. It says, information is a responsibility. وَنَشْرَ الشَّائِعَاتِ جَرِيمَةً. And spreading rumors is a crime. So information is a responsibility. Spreading rumors is a crime. Think before you share. Spreading they've translated it already here. Spreading rumors is a crime. Penalty is no less than 200,000 dirhams, and imprisonment for no less than 2 years. Fucking crazy. Isn't that insane? Don't spread any rumors. But how is it a rumor if I saw it? I saw the shrapnel hit the Filipino man working at the ice cream shop and sliced his head in two. It's just a rumor. Don't be ruining the image of Dubai. But please, the Filipino man needs help. No. Crazy. Also, this is another one. I don't know which one is accurate, but the UAE Ministry of Interior has announced that a fine of approximately $600 will be imposed on anyone who films the explosions. So sharing them, spreading the images will lead to $50,000 fines and potentially 2 years of imprisonment. But even just filming them, if someone sees you filming them, and you got to assume that it doesn't have to be a cop seeing you. There's cameras everywhere. In Dubai, there's a lot, and in the UAE, there's a lot of like security and, what do you call it? When you're being viewed by the government, what's the fucking word? They're constantly watching, okay? Monitored. Everyone's being monitored all the time. So I don't even think you have to be literally seen by a cop filming the footage or like a soldier or something. If some kind of security camera catches a glimpse of you filming something that happened, you're going to have to pay a $600 fine. Isn't that fucking crazy? You can't even film explosions. The one good thing that comes out of wars is you can get some crazy fucking footage. Like, holy shit, there's a photo of something. There's nothing good that comes out of war. Don't take me wrong, okay? Do not misinterpret me. But if I'm going to see something explode in front of me, you bet your ass I'm going to take my fucking phone out and take a fucking video or take a picture. Shit, send it to the news, man. This shit can go on the news. Like, most of the news right now is relying on footage captured by people on their cell phones. All of CNN is just showing you cell phone footage. Everything I've been showing you guys from explosions happening in the south, happening in Iran, that's all cell phone footage. You're not allowed to film that? That's crazy. Yeah, surveillance. Sorry, guys. So the surveillance monitored. I'm losing my language. I'm losing the English. Here's some pictures. So Dubai authorities are threatening legal action to any residents who share images like these. You mean, these images, you mean? Which show damage from Iranian missile and drone strikes. Locals say you could risk deportation or even imprisonment for going against the narrative of safest city in the world. Something that people in Dubai love to repeat is that you could leave your cell phone on a table, go walk around for 3 hours, come back, and your cell phone will still be there on the table. Yes, but that's because if the guy who stole it is caught, they'll like chop off his hand or he'll get deported. Like, that's why they're not out there stealing phones, because they're literally terrified to. They're too scared to steal your phone. It's not like they don't want to steal it because they don't want to. They might really want to very badly, but they just, So yeah, and influencers are allegedly being paid to post propaganda. I hope they don't end up with blood on their hands. So anyways, here are the pictures that Dubai doesn't want you to see. Is that a fancy hotel? Some shit on fire. Look at that. Ooh, Maycat000 has just become a member. Thank you so much, Maycat. Welcome to the Do Not Warriors. We very much appreciate you joining the family. Much love. So yeah, you can't be posting. Don't look at pictures like this, folks. Okay, don't share pictures like this of Dubai. Do not do this. Sarah asks, which is better, posting and sharing bad stuff or good stuff on social media? Me personally, Sarah, I think bad stuff. When bad stuff is happening, I think it's important to talk about the bad stuff. You know what I mean? I think it's weird to talk about good stuff when bad stuff is happening. But just sharing bad stuff for the sake of sharing bad stuff is also bad. It's better to share the bad stuff, but with some kind of a positive message or a plan of action. Like, okay, this is a bad thing, but here is what we can try to do, or here's what we should be doing to try to make this thing not as bad. I think, you know what I mean? But just complaining for the sake of complaining without ever having any solutions, that's also bad. Now, am I expected to have solutions for this geopolitical quagmire that we find ourselves in? Of course not. You know what I'm saying? I just want to play some Dark Souls. But anyways, we're not allowed to play Dark Souls. Here's a video that was taken near a souk in Dubai. This man, Sulaiman Ahmed, is screaming, "Leave Dubai now!" All caps. This is what again, this man will be fined $600 if they find him.
Shit.
Damn, that's crazy, man. Look at that. But that's crazy, man. This shit happening in Dubai. You know it's the end times. You know it's the motherfucking end times when Dubai malls are getting fucking slammed with drones and explosions. I'm sorry, man.
Shit.
Haley, it is a shit. Oh, shit.
Move. Nikal.
I mean, poor guy. This man is probably a migrant worker from India. There's a massive population of Indian people in Dubai. They're not even like allowed to live within the main city with everyone else. All of the migrants live in these like migrant cities essentially. I'm sure you guys have seen all of that footage online. There's a couple of bloggers that have gone to Dubai and filmed videos there, that have rented apartments there. So this man is just an Indian guy who works there. You know what I mean? He can't get out. He doesn't even have a passport. It's probably impossible for him to afford a ticket to leave because he gets paid like slave wages by the kafala system, all that sort of shit. It's a fucking poor, horrible situation I feel the worst, like for the only people I feel bad for in Dubai are the migrant workers that are literally stuck there because they can't leave. All the other rich fucks that are there on vacation or that are fine with with living in a city where it is run by basically slaves, that's on you. You know what I mean? You figure your shit out. But all these migrant workers that went there for like the hope of a better life and then get stuck in this poisonous, toxic, criminal system where they are basically slaves to the system, where they take their passports as soon as they get there. They barely get paid enough to make ends meet month after month. They have to live, share small bedrooms with like 5 to 6 people. And then they're treated like shit, and then they work on these very difficult, nearly impossible projects under the searing fucking heat, and they need to build fucking football stadiums in 2 months, and they fall off and they die of heat stroke and they're malnutrition, and it's all crazy. Chris says, do you feel bad about my brother and nephew? If they live, look, I'm not trying to generalize. I know a lot of people that live in Dubai, you know what I mean? But like, I feel bad that they live in Dubai. You know what I mean? Like, what do they do other than go to the mall? That's what I feel. That's what I feel bad about them. You know what I mean? What do you do in Dubai?
Another drone.
Every time I go there, I literally spend time in the hotel, Uber, mall, back to the air-conditioned Uber, back to the air-conditioned hotel, air-conditioned hotel, back to the air-conditioned Uber, back to one of the malls. You know what I mean? There's a couple of restaurants that you want to try. Just some shops, man. That's it. There's literally nothing to do there. Nothing to do. It's so it really depresses me to be in Dubai.
Well, leave from there.
No Name says the only country that has kafala is Lebanon. No, Lebanon also has kafala system. But also Saudi Arabia has kafala system extra. Saudi Arabia has the most extra kafala system of all kafala systems. It's the granddaddy of all. Also, Iran just took out a $1.1 billion radar at the most fortified U.S. base in the Middle East with a single missile. Let's watch the CNN report about that.
Qatar saying an Iranian ballistic missile has struck Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar. That is the largest military installation for the United States in the entire Middle East. And it comes as a news.
No Name. Of course they do. Are you kidding me? No Name. Why are you being like this? Let me just Google kafala system, KSA, kafala system, KSA. Oh, they reformed it. Look at that. Saudi Arabia has significantly reformed its kafala sponsorship system as of late 2025. What was that, like 2 months ago? Moving away from a model that gave employers absolute control. The new labor initiative part of Vision 2030 allows workers to change jobs and exit the country without employer permission. I mean, look, I don't know what kind of loophole they're using. They recently reformed it in late 2025. I'm going to need to see that in practice. No Name. I'm sorry. They got to put their money where their mouth is. We've all heard the horror stories of people that live in Saudi Arabia, work in Saudi Arabia. I have been to Saudi Arabia to work on a reality show back in 2017. I spent about a total of 2 weeks and 17 days, a little over a month in Saudi Arabia, divided over 2 trips. Most of my time I spent it in the desert, in the Neom Desert. Beautiful area. While the first time I went to Recon to do Reiki, to find locations for the reality show, and then I spent and then they shot the show for like over a month or a month and a half. I spent 2 weeks there for the first 2 weeks of shooting. Come on, man. I saw that with my own eyes. Come on. You calling my eyes lion eyes? So No Name says Saudi Arabia has moved to abolish the kafala system, a major reform toward decent work under Vision 2030. It sounds like you copy-pasted that off of the AI thing that I just saw. You literally just copy-pasted that. I'll believe it when I see it, No Name. Come on, guys. Come on.
CNN investigation is now looking specifically at the American targets hit so far by Iranian strikes, every single one of them. Tamara Klablawi is out front.
Satellite imagery showing the extent of the damage to U.S. military facilities.
Yeah, No Name, do you have workers in Saudi? What's happening, No Name? Did you just move to Saudi and hire a bunch of workers?
That is the largest military installation for the United States in the entire Middle East. And it comes as a new CNN investigation is now looking specifically at the American targets.
Says, I have Saudi workers, my guy. So you have Saudi employees, you mean? If they're Saudi employees, that means you're not using the kafala system.
It's hit so far by Iranian strikes, every single one of them. Tamara Klablawi is out front.
Satellite imagery showing the extent of the damage to U.S. military facilities across Gulf Arab countries is starting to emerge, part of Iran's furious response to an Israeli-American campaign that decimated its leadership. At least 9 U.S. military positions have been hit in less than 48 hours. These are relatively close targets. They're much nearer to Iran than its usual target, Israel. That proximity may give Iran's missiles and drones a better chance of hitting their target.
Mixed Saudi and Filipino, No Name. I've met you. I'm sure your dad is a decent guy, and I'm sure your dad might be going the extra step to treat his employees well. But you know damn well that a lot of people have, I don't want to put you in a position, because if you misspeak about Saudi Arabia, you don't need to say anything. I know what it's like there, man. I've done a lot of research about it over there. I know the fucked up shit that happened. If they changed it over the last 2 months, that does not negate all of the shit that they put people and migrant workers through over many decades, okay? Don't forget the World Cup that took place in Qatar, all that. How did they build the 30 stadiums in 6 months and all that sort of shit? Like, come on. But I'm sure that No Name, that you and your dad will take great care of your employees, no matter where they're from. If they're from Lebanon, if they're migrant workers, if they're Saudi, I have no doubt about that.
Targets. This is the port of Shuaiba, where just after 9 a.m. on Sunday morning,
Marina, it's an F.
An Iranian strike set a makeshift U.S. operations center at the civilian port ablaze. 6 American service members were killed in the attack. You can see smoke rising from the fire. The blown-out 3-wide trailer blackened on the inside. There are few signs of fortification. In another attack, a drone, this appears to be the Arash 2, crashes into U.S. positions in Camp Buring. A building severely damaged. American helicopters parked inside the base were nearly hit. In Bahrain, a Shahid attack drone fired.
Sorry, guys, I've been completely zoned the fuck out. Let me go back a little bit.
Hit so far by Iranian strikes, every single one of them. Tamara Klablawi is out front.
Satellite imagery showing the extent of the damage to U.S. military facilities across Gulf Arab countries is starting to emerge, part of Iran's furious response to an Israeli-American campaign that decimated its leader.
That's pretty fucking impressive, man. Like, I think that's been a huge blind spot for the U.S. Like, how much damage, how many billions of dollars in assets has Iran been able to destroy in just the past 3 to 4 days?
At least 9 U.S. military positions have been hit in less than 48 hours. These are relatively close targets.
We got Iraq, Kuwait, a whole bunch of places in
much nearer
Kuwait.
to Iran than its usual target, Israel. That proximity may give Iran's missiles and drones a better chance of hitting their targets. This is the port of Shuaiba, where just after 9 a.m. on Sunday morning, an Iranian strike set a makeshift U.S. operations center at the civilian port ablaze. 6 American service members were killed in the attack. You can see smoke rising from the fire. The blown-out 3-wide trailer blackened on the inside. There are few signs of fortification. In another attack, a drone, this appears to be the Arash 2, crashes into U.S. positions in Camp Buring.
Damn.
A building severely damaged. American helicopters parked inside the base.
I also heard that Kuwait accidentally downed 3 American jets.
Nearly hit. In Bahrain, a Shahid attack drone flies into the base that hosts the U.S. Navy's 5th Fleet, one of the largest...
Yo, we saw this. People were fucking cheering this on, dude. They were fucking cheering. They're like, Odrob, 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 and then they start clapping.
...American naval formations in the world. It looks alarmingly defenseless. The drone hits one satellite communication terminal, clearly seen here.
They should have left the audio, man. Come on, the people are clearly fucking celebrating. It's so fucking funny.
But the scale of the damage is more obvious here, warehouses and other buildings damaged. And another satellite communication terminal destroyed in a separate attack. We see...
Damn, dude. Yo, that's pretty fucking crazy. That's pretty fucking insane, to be honest with you. Like, overall, Iran are getting, you know... They're not doing great in this war. Israel and the US are going to do more damage. They have the more advanced weaponry. Obviously, they're the ones who initiated this war. But Iran is acquitting itself pretty respectively, like they did last time, honestly. They keep getting underestimated, and they keep you know, surprising everyone. But I mean, is it going to be enough to completely push away the Americans and the Israelis? I mean, I hope it's at least enough to get them some kind of good negotiation for a ceasefire. But so far, I don't see the U.S. and Pete Hegseth and all these fucking psychos stopping. And Netanyahu, obviously.
This pattern of targeting throughout the region. At least 5 satellite communication terminals were destroyed. It points to a possible Iranian effort to cut U.S. bases off from the outside world. Iran used an unprecedented...
Hypercolor says, I can't stay, but I'm just popping in to say I love you guys so much. Hypercolor, we love you more. Thank you so much for being here.
Barrage of missiles and drones. U.S. Patriot missiles and other multi-billion-dollar air defense systems shot most of these out of the sky. But the ones that got through were enough to puncture the veil of security around oil-rich Gulf Arab states and the heart of America's security infrastructure in the Middle East. Now, the question is just how long can Iran sustain these attacks? That depends on how big their stockpiles of missiles and drones are, which is currently unknown. And really, Aaron, it comes down to how quickly can the U.S. and Israel achieve their stated objective of obliterating the missiles. Until that happens, Iran has made it clear that in the aftermath of the killing of Ayatollah Khamenei, it plans to sow as much chaos as possible to U.S. interests in the Middle East and beyond.
At the very top of the program, I mentioned...
I mean, fair, honestly, fair. Trump and Israel and the U.S., they're trying to sow chaos in Iran. They're trying to unleash Kurdish rebels and try to start and sow instability inside the country. It is only fair for Iran to do the same with all of America's allies in the region. Just don't do it to us here in Lebanon, Iran. Don't forget who had your back and who had Palestine's back. Okay, we're the only ones. Okay, I know we have a massive U.S. embassy over here. Just think of the Lebanese people living around that embassy. Okay. Think of the innocents.
The strike on Al Udeid that we are understanding has just happened, and that was from we understand, a ballistic missile from Iran. What's the significance of that, given that you've been there so much, but that this is the single largest military base in the region?
Well, the Qatari government has the obligation, in concert with the United States agreements.
Qatari government. Qatari? What are we talking about? Qatari? The Qatari government, Qatari government. Qatari. Is that a brand of knives? Is that a brand of kitchen knives? Qatari?
That you've been there so much, but that this is the single largest military base in the region.
Well, the Qatari government has the
make an effort. It's not even trying. The Qatari government. The Qatari government.
Obligation, in concert with the United States, agreements in place to protect the airspace. When I was there, and over the course of time, certainly there was a full integration of not only U.S. air defense capabilities and those that are possessed by the Qatarian government. In this case, over the course of time, maybe the U.S. presence there has decreased somewhat, and in Qatar, it has increased to a point that they now have primacy in terms of that mission set. That's the only thing I can assume right now, because for Iran to be able to target Al Udeid, first of all, it's a known location. They know where it is, so that's no mystery. Yep. But for it to get through, that's a legitimate concern.
And U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says all personnel are accounted for after a drone strike in a parking lot near the U.S. consulate in Dubai late last night. It is now 1 o'clock in the afternoon here. Paula Hancock's joining us from Dubai. And Paula, just let's get some reaction there. People have been extremely concerned, of course, about these attacks. They do tell us they, on the whole, feel...
Guys, if you're watching live, make sure to like the stream. Click that like button.
Safe, though. How is what is going on in Dubai and the broader picture of Iranian attacks on U.S. military and, importantly, non-military facilities going down?
Well, Becky, we had heard from the Iranian Revolutionary Guard that they were expanding their targets. It was going to be American political centers hit as well. And we're certainly seeing that, as you mentioned there, the car park of the consulate.
Sorry. God, I shouldn't look at fucking Twitter while I'm doing this. Twitter's popping off, man. There's always... I saw something Lebanon considers, and I saw like a white document, and then I accidentally refreshed. What are we considering? What are we considering? We're almost getting into Lebanon stuff. Did I find it again? Yes, okay. What? Lebanon considers opening airspace to UK warplanes? Important. Lebanon considers opening its airspace to UK warplanes. A Lebanese government agenda item. Okay, we'll talk about this in a second. Let me add that link to... God damn, man. You look away for 1 second. UK warplanes. Are you shitting me, man? What, to help fight Iran? Is that how we're trying to get on America and Israel's good side now? You can use our airspace. We'll save this. We'll read it. We'll read this together, okay? God damn it, man.
He's going down.
Well, Becky, we had heard from the Iranian Revolutionary Guard that they were expanding their targets. It was going to be American political centers hit as well, and we're certainly seeing that. As you mentioned there, the car park of the consulate in Dubai, close to where we are here. Now, there were no casualties because there was no one in the building. We know that the consulate, at the embassy in Abu Dhabi, they'd cancelled all appointments up until March 4th, which is today. Clearly, that is going to be extended. And we're seeing...
Dubai influencers, look at that. Where are these guys from? Bahrain? Or is it? Oh, look at this. Our 5-star dinner was accompanied by a fireworks display.
Embassies being shut, with the Saudi embassy, the Kuwait embassy, because they are being targeted. Now, we also saw overnight in Qatar, the Al Udeid air base once again being struck. This is the largest US military installation in the Middle East. But again, there would have been an awful lot of movement out of that base before this war started. Now, in Kuwait, there were interceptions of aerial objects, we're being told. One of the interceptions created debris, which then hit a residential building and killed an 11-year-old girl. So these incoming missiles and drones are continuing. They are...
R.I.P. Holy shit, 11-year-old girl. Where, in Saudi Arabia or Kuwait?
Are seeing having a very high success rate of managing to shoot down these missiles and drones. We heard a couple of interceptions overhead a couple of hours ago. We're also hearing a lot more fighter jets in the air above the skies of Dubai today and yesterday. One interesting point to make is that France has now decided to send fighter jets into the skies above the UAE. The French minister saying that was to make sure that they could protect their military bases here. They said that a military base in Abu Dhabi had been hit. It's unclear at this point whether they will be actively...
Oh my God. Everybody's scrambling to send jets to protect their bases.
Involved in shooting down missiles.
I thought they were going to say, I thought the French were going to say, we are trying to protect the people of the UAE. They have done nothing wrong to deserve getting bombed and attacked. Like, no, we are here to protect our military base. We do not give a shit about the people in the Gulf. But I heard that they're attacking bases, and we have multiple bases there, you know what I mean, where we serve delicious escargot and du citron avec un peu de sel, un peu de poivre. Ben, c'est délicieux, as you know. So we are sending... okay, why would I make the fucking escargot joke? That's horrible. I'm sorry, guys. Un petit steak frites, ben, vous savez, in our military base. They don't give a fuck. I thought they were going to try to protect the people. They're just trying to protect their bases.
But it just shows that that the number of countries, particularly in Europe as well, being drawn into this war is increasing. France was very critical of the US president for making the decision to go ahead and attack Iran.
Nick, I want to talk about what's happening in the region. What are you hearing?
Yeah, and Saudi Arabia here in Riyadh specifically, the US Embassy, State Department has authorized non-emergency staff to be able to leave. The consulate in Jeddah, the consulate in the east of the country, and the oil-producing sector in Dhahran.
That's crazy, man. Same thing. All the embassies, they've let anyone leave. Oh, you guys are saying it's an accurate accent. All right, très bien, ben voilà, ben oui, comme on vous dit là, aussi en France, ben oui. Ooh. Actually, I need some baguette. I do not eat escargot, Mitsubishi Records. I do not eat snail, but a delicious baguette would go great with some of my turkey and cheese that I got in that fridge to make a maybe nice little sandwich later tonight. Okay, enough talking about Iran and the rest of the world. Time to set our sights to Lebanon, folks. My home country, okay, my land. Okay, that's currently being invaded. Okay, I'm sorry, Iran, you're going through this. All right. But you're a much bigger country. You got way more powerful defenses than we do. It's time to pity Lebanon for a second, okay? It's time to pity this country. We're just going to look at a bunch of videos, folks, updates, trying to give you guys updates on what's happening here and why. Okay. Sorry, just opening up some links. The right side of my head fucking hurts. Does anyone know why? This side of my head here, randomly, out of nowhere. It's like I got hit by something, but I didn't get hit by nothing. But it hurts. Got so many links. So many bad things happened. I think I'm gonna need to take one day off this week from war streams, but I'm feeling like it's impossible because there's so much shit happening every day, and I feel like I have to talk about it, and I feel like if I'm not talking about it, I'm doing something wrong. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm doing something wrong. Yeah, I'm opening up as many links as I can so that we don't have to... Almost done. One more link. You want to do Iranian Diaspora first? I only have 2 links. Let's do that first, yeah. Stress headache, you think? It's from the side. It's one side of my head, and even like it hurts like too. Like even when I rub the side of my face, like it hurts. It's as if like my bone is fractured. Like here, even not even my head, like goes down to like the top of my cheekbone. Like this whole area. It's been 2 days. It could be stress. I wouldn't be fucking shocked, man. Just a couple updates about Iranian diaspora. We reacted to this lady yesterday. She was like, I'm like Iranians are like the Latinos of the Middle East. So this person says we were following each other until recently. Honestly, I'm really ashamed. She's in America and I'm in Iran. Every day I hear and feel the bombs and she's dancing. 150 little girls have been killed and she's dancing. Shame on you. Let's fucking go. That is a human response, not unlike these fucking freaks that are dancing and being fucking idiots. Anyways, God has a special place in hell for all y'all motherfuckers. Also, this is a very crazy and disturbing video. It's genuinely disturbing to see members of the Iranian diaspora mocking Indians and Pakistanis who are grieving the deaths of schoolgirls in Iran and the killing of an elderly leader and his family. There is something deeply wrong here. This was very confusing. It's just a bunch of Iranians being fucking assholes.
Iranian, happy. Ukrainian, happy. Lebanese, happy. Iraqi.
Lebanese are not happy, lady. Most Lebanese people, I would say, are not happy about what's going on right now. Let me just tell you that.
Happy. Syrian, happy. And who's not happy? Only some few Indians and Pakistanis that they lost their sugar daddy, the terrorist sugar daddy. They are not happy. I wish you soon join your beautiful...
I swear to God, lady, no one's going to think you're white. No one is going to respect you like a white person. They're just going to see you. They're going to assume you're like a brown Muslim person and fucking hate you the way they would hate any other brown Muslim person. What do you think? You think my name is Anthony and I speak English and I'm like Christian, that I had some kind of advantage walking around America? As soon as someone laid their eyes on me, they assumed my name was Muhammad and I'm Muslim and I'm here to fucking do some horrible shit to them. So when someone would like insult Muslims or something, I would always take it personally because it's like, I know you're also trying to insult me because they don't know. You know what I mean? And sometimes I'll tell them, hey, my name's Anthony. And they're like, oh, so you don't eat pork? Are you Muslim? I'm like, I just told you my name is Anthony. These fucking people think that they're special. No one's ever going to think you're special. Khalas, you're different. You're different. You're brown. That's it. It doesn't matter what your name is, what you think, how white you act, how different you try to pretend to be from your people. It doesn't fucking matter. No one cares. Okay, show some fucking solidarity with your people, man. Ana khalas, everyone assumed that I was a Muslim, so I started to like kind of interact with people like, yes, like, what do you mean? If someone would say something offensive about Muslims, I would like react as if they were insulting me because at the end of the day, they're all assuming that about me. Okay, stop being this, stop doing this shit. It's so pathetic. It's so sad. You know what I mean? Oh, look at me. I'm one of you.
Happy. Lebanese, happy. Iraqis, happy. Syrian, happy. And who's not happy? Only some few Indians and Pakistanis that they lost their sugar daddy, the terrorist sugar daddy. They are not happy. I wish you soon join your beautiful...
Iranian diaspora women are like becoming... They're like right up there with like Israeli women as like... I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, hateable. What are you doing? Oh my God. Ugh. Okay. That's it for the diaspora. Now let's get into Lebanon. Before we do that, I think my ass needs another cigarette, folks. I'll be right back. Holy shit. Holy shit. Oh. Because I'm not chain smoking. It's just this. I had a cigarette an hour and 20 minutes ago. I'm not a regular smoker, guys. Okay, this is just for the show. Okay, we're stressed out. We're talking about war. Okay, it's part. This is also to help my headache. Okay, the doctor told me Lebanese doctors are still out there recommending cigarettes. Okay, I'm kidding. We don't recommend cigarettes. I don't even smoke. I had this pack. It's like a leftover. So Lebanon, let's get into it. We just discovered this tweet together. Let's see what it says. Hala Jabir says, important, Lebanon considers opening its airspace to UK warplanes. A Lebanese government agenda item submitted by the Lebanese Ministry of Foreign Affairs, headed by Foreign Minister Youssef Raji, seeks approval to allow British military aircraft to transit Lebanese airspace. While this would not mean Lebanon is formally joining the war, permitting military aircraft involved in regional operations to cross Lebanese airspace could be interpreted as positioning the country alongside those conducting military action against Iran. Oh, so now you want to put us in... You want Iran to start bombing us now? Is that the plan? The issue is particularly sensitive as Lebanon is already facing escalating fighting along its southern border, while officially maintaining that the state is not a party to the wider regional conflict. It is further complicated by the presence of powerful political forces within Lebanon that maintain close alliances with Iran. If approved, the decision could trigger significant political debate inside Lebanon over neutrality and the country's role amid the expanding war. Well, of course, if it's up to me, we do not permit any European nation to use our airspace, especially if it is to bomb Iran, to bomb any other Middle Eastern country. I'm sorry, no. As soon as you do that, we are becoming more and more the stooges of the American and Israeli government. Not that we're not. At this point, that's what we're trying to be. But this would only establish that further. It's going to give Iran a reason to attack us and to bomb us, which we cannot afford. Neither financially, neither from a security perspective. We're going to fucking die. We're going to get fucking killed. Do you want that? I don't see what we have to gain from that except from trying to get on America and Israel's good side and suck in the teat. But like, why? Selling our dignity for this? Gesicht. Horrible. Horrible. Sorry, I missed the super chat. Gina Ragnos sent a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Gina, and said, I'm not interested in visiting what is basically Peter Thiel's wet dream manifest. Neither am I. Gina, I'm sorry I missed this. Thank you so much for the generous super chat. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. Have I missed anything? No, it was just Gina. Gina, thank you so much. Much love. We're having Marlboros, like a blue type of Marlboro. It tastes like shit, to be honest with you. It's making me feel like ass. Shouldn't have smoked it. I made a mistake. I'm sorry. Don't smoke, everyone. Not to be fair, Israel already uses our airspace to do whatever the fuck they want. But like to allow like another European nation to use our airspace to bomb Iran, doesn't seem wise. Okay. This was a residential building that was bombed in Baalbek last night while people were asleep. The people who's filming is saying, the building is full of people. He's like, it's full of people. And Allah yarhamun if anyone's dead. Update, that video was updated. Drop site sends an update and says 8 killed, 12 injured in an Israeli strike on a residential home in Baalbek in eastern Lebanon. While people were sleeping in the middle of the night, it doesn't even if they did send out a message or like a Twitter notice, hey, evacuate your home. You think these people are checking Twitter at 2 a.m.? You think these people are checking Twitter at 2 a.m.? Horrible shit. RIP. These are two of the victims, Lebanese children, Maram Abdel Sattar and Miral Abdel Sattar, among the martyrs of the Baalbek strike. RIP to these little angels. Sisters, I believe. Yes, Lebanese children. I believe they have the same last name. They're most likely related. Angels from my country. Victims of the United States and Israel's genocidal regimes. More Lebanese children buried by these evil pieces of shit. We're just going to linger on their photos a little bit. And observe a moment of silence. Again, their names are Maram Abdel Sattar and Miral Abdel Sattar. Only two of the victims from the Baalbek strike. Here is Senator Lindsey Graham urging Donald Trump to join Israel's aggressions on Lebanon. So it's not enough for Israel to bomb us now. Every single day he wants the U.S. to bomb us. He wants American taxpayer dollars to not only fund Israel's bombing campaign, but also he wants the U.S. to join directly. Let's see what this piece of shit has to say. I saw this fucker at an airport once.
Withdrew and never did anything about it. So I'm calling on President Trump today. Withdrew and never did anything about it. So I'm calling on President Trump today. Join Israel to attack Hezbollah. Avenge the Marines. America never forgets. Those 220 Marines and 18 sailors' families, we want to go after the infrastructure that killed your loved ones. Their IRG.
By the way, this motherfucker's talking, he's asking for revenge for something that happened in the fucking 80s. Okay, when Hezbollah attacked like US Marines here in Lebanon. How long ago was that? Like, I'm sorry, bro. It's 2026. Get over that shit. Get over that shit. Hezbollah attack US Marines Lebanon. When did that happen? 1983. Motherfuckers talking about revenge for 1983. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? No one fucking remembers. No one alive gives a shit about that anymore.
GC assets in Beirut as I speak. President Trump come up with a new operation called Simplify. Fly with Israel and go after Hezbollah, who has American blood on its hands. Not only take the mothership of Iran down, also take the proxy of Hezbollah, settle the score. Withdrew and never did anything about it. So I'm calling on President Trump today. Join Israel to attack Hezbollah. Avenge the Marines. America never forgets. Those 220 Marines and 18 sailors' families, we want to go after the infrastructure that killed your loved ones.
Why don't you come here yourself, Lindsey fucking Graham, little bitch boy? Come over here, boy. Yalla ta. Why don't you come do the dirty work for President Trump? You come over here. You evacuate my people. You ask them to leave their homes. You bomb. How about you fucking participate in the bombing campaign? How about you get your ass on the ground and try to do some fucking guerrilla warfare against Hezbollah? Yair. Fucking piece of shit, bitch. Motherfucker. Motherfucking asshole. Fucking easy to fucking call on people to fucking die for you and die for fucking Israel for no fucking reason from your ivory tower, you dumbass.
Their IRGC assets in Beirut as I speak. President Trump come up with a new operation called Simplify. Fly with Israel and go after Hezbollah, who has American blood on its hands. Not only take the mothership of Iran down, also take the proxy of Hezbollah, settle the score.
Yeah, some more American psychos. Hebrew sources, Israel is preparing for a long war against Hezbollah. Nice, fun little update right there. Megatron, just in, footage captures devastating strike on Aramoun, Lebanon, reportedly launched by Israeli warship. So this one was not launched by a drone or a jet. This was some warship fire. Insane, man. Devastating. Look at that. Look at the damage this is causing, man. Hadamun, my coworker used to live in Hadamun. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? My coworker used to live in Hadamun. There's tons of people there, man. This is a residential area. Insane. Look at this. So also a massacre was reported in Adamun. These are people just picking up the rubble, looking through the rubble, digging for anyone that they can find. Just scenes very reminiscent of what was happening in Gaza. Scenes that are happening currently in Iran. They're doing it to everyone, man. They're doing it to everyone. They be doing this to everybody, man. Holy shit, Big O LeMayo with a $20 super chat. Holy shit, says hold strong, Anthony and Do Not Worry podcast. Big O LeMayo, thank you so much. That is so fucking generous. You guys have been way too kind, way too sweet. I don't even know what to say, man. Thank you so much. W's in the chat for Big O LeMayo, folks. Thank you for supporting the channel and making sure we can keep going during all this shit. Irene, well, you're getting a shout out, Irene, okay? Irene the Dream sends a $5 dono, says, don't want a shout out, just sending love the only way I can. Irene, thank you so much. You guys are way too kind. I wish you guys could send hugs in the super chat. I wish that could be how you send how you guys could send support. You guys just being here, man. You guys just being here and being like an emotional support is already huge. Knowing that you guys are out there thinking about us and you guys are out there trying to spread the good word in your communities, in your circles, trying to show people like how things are really going and trying to give them some insight into how us Lebanese people really are. I really appreciate you guys, and that's how you guys are saving us. So Irene, we love you. Big O LeMayo, we love you. Everybody who's gifted a membership, who sent in any super chat today, honestly, you guys are amazing. And anyone who's just in the chat, just watching, liking the video, just subscribe to the channel, like the stream. You're honestly making a massive difference. So here, this is the big news. Israel, and you guys are going to recognize this. These are the kind of graphics that they send for people for evacuation orders in Gaza. They highlight the area that you need to evacuate in red. They have literally highlighted almost like the entire south of Lebanon. They have highlighted about 10% of Lebanon. Let me show you what Lebanon looks like on a map, just so you can see how big of a region they have just checked out. Okay, here's a map of Lebanon. Let me open the image in a new tab. Okay, so this is the bottom section that Israel is currently planning on occupying. This right here is the Litani River, this blue line. This is where Israel has been asking Hezbollah to retreat behind. They want Hezbollah to retreat completely behind the Litani River. That, in Israel's mind, is going to give Israelis that live in northern Israel security, because if Hezbollah isn't positioned beyond that line, they can't fire rockets effectively into Israel, etc. So they've been trying to get Hezbollah to move past this line and to completely disarm Hezbollah past this line. They've not been able to. So now that Hezbollah has conducted a rocket attack against Israel 3 days ago, now the Israelis have decided to completely move in and invade this part of Lebanon and most likely occupy it long term. Now, how long term? What's the exact plan? We don't know. If you ask me, I think it's probably going to be a permanent occupation. This is Lebanon. Okay, this is the whole map of Lebanon. Okay, this is what they're occupying right here. Look how massive this is. This is like 10% of our whole country. Like, do you guys see this? Do you guys see this? This is massive. This whole line, right? Can you guys even see my mouse here? All of this right here, they want to control. We are losing the whole bottom of our country. The whole south, everything beyond the Litani River. There's hundreds of thousands, if not like 1.2 million people that live in this area alone that are going to be affected. Massive. I cannot highlight this enough. Like, I used to have the outline of Lebanon tattooed on my wrist. I took it off at some point. I covered it up because I thought it was kind of cringy. But now I'm tempted to get the same tattoo once again, just to represent, like, no, this is what Lebanon fucking looks like, and this is what it's going to look like forever, no matter what land Israel tries to take. Like, I feel so bad that I got rid of that tattoo, but I have a better spot for it anyways. But I want to get that tattoo back. Dude, like, are you fucking kidding me? This is not an insignificant piece of land. By the way, taking 1 inch of our land would be a fucking crime and would be fucking horrible. Nola Magnolia sends a $2 super sticker. Thank you so much, Nola. We love you. We appreciate you. Just taking 1 inch of our land would be massive. This is gigantic. Let me try to figure out how much. What's the distance? It's about, how many kilometers is that? It's about like 15 kilometers or something, if I'm not mistaken. It's a 30-kilometer buffer zone. It's a 30-kilometer buffer zone. They're taking about 30 kilometers, man. That's fucking insane. Marina sends $2 and says 10,452 كيلومتر مربع forever. Let's fucking go. Exactly. Lebanon's our total distance is 10,452 kilometers squared. That is what it's going to be forever. It doesn't matter what these fucking graphics say, what they try to fucking do to us. It's never going to change. But yeah, they're threatening to take a massive part. Okay, this is the video that they sent out. This is Avishai Adre. He is like the I forget his title exactly. He's one of their correspondents. Show translation. Okay, unable to. Oh yeah, that's right. We can't translate Hebrew anymore. So here he is formally warning residents of the south to evacuate completely. Yeah, 30 kilometers in length, not in area. Exactly, 30 kilometers in length. Yeah, Begalomeo says, and by seizing everything up to the Litani, they can connect southern Lebanon with the Golan Heights to create a geographically contiguous annexation zone. Exactly, Golan Heights in Syria. Again, it's the same shit. You need to leave for your own safety because you guys are housing weaponry and you guys are housing Hezbollah members, etc. We are telling you to leave for your own protection. All that same bullshit. So let's start reading some opinions about what's happening, okay? This is from Elijah Magnier, the fear-mongering crazy fucker, but I like reading his shit. He says, Israel's stated intention to push its forces south of the Litani River and effectively control roughly 10% of Lebanese territory would carry profound and lasting consequences for Lebanon's internal stability. Such an operation is triggering the displacement of hundreds of thousands of civilians from the south and the Bekaa, many of whom would seek refuge in already fragile urban centers, particularly Beirut. And by the way, the Bekaa, dude, like Demi and I went and spent a weekend in Bekaa last year. It was so fucking beautiful. We're so lucky we got to see that place and spend some nice time there. We also, like, during the Valentine's Day weekend, we went out and rented like a cabin for a weekend in south of Lebanon. It was a magically beautiful weekend. It was such a nice magical cabin, and it's so sad to think that these areas are now too dangerous for us to go to, that Israel is going to be bombing the living shit out of them, and we might never be able to see them again. Like, how fucking crazy is it to think like that? And I'm so thankful that we took the time to go there and spend some beautiful time there. The sudden concentration of such large number of displaced people in the capital would place enormous pressure on housing, services, security structures, and an already collapsing economy. Over time, these communities would inevitably seek to assert their political and social weight, reshaping internal balances and creating long-term tensions across the country. And we talked about that yesterday. I told you guys how there's a lot of like Christian areas that are refusing people from the south to come in and enter their areas or their regions in Lebanon because either they're racist, they don't want Muslims in their areas, or they're afraid that Israel might try to target some of these refugees and try to bomb them in Christian areas. It's going to lead to tensions. It's going to lead to a lot of internal chaos and strife, which again, just like they're trying to cause in Iran, which is just like they tried to cause in Syria, they would love for that to happen here in Lebanon because it weakens Lebanon, it weakens Hezbollah, it weakens the government, and it only makes Israel and the United States stronger. W's in the chat for Jim D. Dukers, who just gifted 5 Do Not Worry memberships. Holy shit, Jim, thank you so much. That's like 10 memberships today, Jim. You got going crazy. Jim, you got to stop. Stop it with the gifting. Stop it with everything. Please, we appreciate you. We love you. I see all of you guys. Genuinely, thank you way too much. At the same time, the open hostility shown by the Lebanese president and sections of the government towards Hezbollah risks deepening the country's internal fracture at the very moment external military pressure is mounting. In a context where the state lacks both the military capacity and the political cohesion to impose authority across the territory, internal divisions could prove extremely costly. Rather than stabilizing the situation, the current political approach may end up amplifying the crisis, leaving Lebanon to bear the heavy consequences of both external confrontation and internal fragmentation. Exactly. Like, we already have the US and Israel coming for us. Okay, they're trying to weaken our country. They're trying to fucking destroy us. They're trying to destroy our bases, etc. They're trying to take parts of the South. Can we currently afford to fight Israel, the United States, and have an internal conflict right now? Can Lebanese people afford to infight? First of all, we can't. First of all, the Lebanese military isn't even capable of disarming Hezbollah. And if they try to do it, it's literally going to lead to a civil war. It's going to lead to bloody bloodshed. Sorry for the repetition. In the fucking country. Like, we can't afford that. We can't afford that. And we have to combine our forces. We have to, like, stand together. The only way to stand against oppression, to stand against fucking invasion and occupation is by uniting, okay? I'm sorry to have to quote Rise of the Planet of the Apes, but apes together strong, okay? Apes together strong. We got to stand together, man. But Lebanon is way too fragmented. We can't stand together. The government is under pressure by the US and Israel to disarm Hezbollah, or else they've been threatened to be bombed into oblivion. So they're too scared to join Hezbollah or to support Hezbollah in any way, shape, or form. In fact, they're doing the opposite. They're setting up checkpoints to try and arrest Hezbollah members that are trying to actively resist the Israeli occupation. As you will see here. So here's some footage of Israeli forces advancing into Lebanon. This is in Kfar Shuba, the town of Kfar Shuba. You can see Israeli tanks right here at the bottom. Haley D just gifted 5 do-not-worry memberships as well. What is going on here? Haley and Jim tag teaming to drive me crazy? What are we doing over here? You guys are so fucking awesome, man. Holy shit. I feel so bad for not being able to do a member stream. I'm going to try to do one Friday during the day. That way, all of the new members that have been gifted by you guys, we can get together and hopefully try to have some fun for a change. I'm so sorry. Thank you guys so much. I feel so bad. Here is some video footage of Israeli soldiers entering Lebanon. Documentation of the latest IDF invasion of southern Lebanon. Motherfuckers walking on our lands, our grass, our dirt, our soil, our rocks, our trees. Tanks entering our land with impunity. Breaking news. So here we go. Al Jazeera said that the Lebanese army has arrested 25 people, armed, mainly Lebanese, on the road to the south of Lebanon. So here you go. These people are trying to head to the south. They're trying to head to positions that the Lebanese army abandoned at the behest, at the request of Israel and the United States. They abandoned those villages. They completely allowed the Israeli army, the IDF, to come into the south. And yeah, the Lebanese army has so far arrested 25 people, supposedly tied to Hezbollah, who are trying to get back to the south to defend the south. So it's crazy. Jess asks, Anthony, have you ever watched the movie Waltz with Bashir? No, I haven't. I have not seen Waltz with Bashir, but I've heard that it's fucking fantastic. My Syrian friend had told me to watch it back in the day. Breaking news: for the first time, Hezbollah and Iran launched simultaneously ballistic missiles on Tel Aviv. Now, yeah, so apparently Hezbollah and Iran were bombing Tel Aviv at the exact same time. Here, let's open my front page of Twitter and see what's going on. We can get like live updates right here. Ooh, Pokemon is dropping rugs. Fuck yeah. First look at Assassin's Creed Black Flag. That's nice. Witness watching the Israeli army transfer its wounded soldiers from southern Lebanon to Rambam Hospital. It's called Rambam Hospital in occupied Haifa. Selemeton, wounded soldiers from southern Lebanon. Oh no, wounded Israeli soldiers? Let's watch this. Can we turn it up? Speedy recovery, buddy. Here is some footage of Hezbollah attacking an armored vehicle near the Lebanese border. I mean, look, just to be clear, I really disagree with Hezbollah's decision to enter this battle. I think if you want to resist, if you want to try to do something, there's got to be some kind of strategy. You have to try to come to it from a position of strength. I think Hezbollah came at this from a position of weakness. I don't think there's anything that Hezbollah can do right now, realistically, that can actually assist Iran on the ground and make the war against Iran like less aggressive. They're only, and this is controversial, but I think right now, even though I do think Israel would have attacked Lebanon regardless, I think Hezbollah should have played it safe and should have tried to avoid making it worse, because Lebanese people, we just got out of a war. People can't afford this financially, psychologically, from a security sense. Even people within Hezbollah supporters themselves, a lot of them, there's a big part of them that disagree with this decision. Not, again, the Lebanese people are not a monolith, okay? I myself, as a supporter of the resistance, am like, can we fucking sit this one out, bro? Can we fucking sit this one out? Now, again, I do believe that Israel, this was still part of their plan regardless, but I'm not going to lie and tell you guys that, like, I wasn't fucking pissed off when they fucking sent out those rockets, because immediately I knew what was going to happen. And how did we help? What targets did we destroy? What high value targets did we get rid of by firing those rockets? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, that's how I feel. The war, and Mitsubishi says the war never ended, and absolutely, the war never ended. Lebanon has been attacked for the past year. Israel has breached the ceasefire, and they've been attacking Hezbollah for the past year, but Hezbollah never responded. They never responded, and they chose to respond now, which is, I don't know. It was going to happen sooner or later, but it would be weird of me. And again, like, it's so selfish of me living in a safe area, you know what I mean? Living in a Christian area where I'm not being asked to evacuate my home. I'm not putting my life on the line right now. It would be, it doesn't feel right for me to celebrate this. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they did this. Hundreds of thousands of people, potentially 1.2 million people are now homeless, and they don't know where to go. And they're being turned away from people. Like, this shit's real, man. You know what I'm saying? This shit's real. So let's try to. Here's the footage. Okay, here's the Israeli tank. About to get taken out. Come on, buddy. Boom. There we go. Lovely. This was in Kfar Kella. But apparently, it appears that despite the Lebanese government standing against Hezbollah, despite the Lebanese government arresting people from Hezbollah, they have been able apparently to regroup. So Hezbollah, this is according to Dropsite, and this is they're taking reporting from Ali Al-Hashim. Hezbollah activity south of the Litani River suggests the group may have re-established an operational presence in southern Lebanon. Al Jazeera's Ali Hashim reports recent rocket, drone, and anti-tank attacks near the border point to restored command and control. On Tuesday alone, 13 attacks were reported, including 5 Israeli tanks disabled by anti-tank missiles. Hashim says the pattern looks less sporadic, looks less like sporadic harassment and more like coordinated frontline operations within the border of Axis of Resistance framework. He suggests the key test will be whether Hezbollah can sustain and expand these operations. I mean, look, again, I was against the thought of Hezbollah firing these rockets and getting us involved in this war. But now that Israel is coming into Lebanon and they're trying to invade the south, let's go Hezbollah. Let's go resistance. I don't even think of them as Hezbollah anymore. I'm thinking of them as resistance. And I think that after this war, whatever happens, we need a new resistance in Lebanon. We need a new resistance, one without Hezbollah's baggage, maybe one with Hezbollah's expertise and experience in fighting. But khalas, we got to start fresh. We need a new and refreshed resistance that is more aligned with Lebanon as a whole and Lebanon's goals, and that treats the South with the importance and reverence that it deserves, just like Hezbollah does. But I think we need to reshape things a little bit, to be honest with you guys, because it ain't working. It ain't working. It ain't working. Another Israeli strike targeted at a building in Hadath, Beirut, southern suburbs. Rami says, Hizb did not get you into this. Trust. I'm not saying they got us into this. Rami, again, if you've been listening to my show for any amount of time, you know what I think about resistance and you know what I think about Israel. And I know more than likely this would have happened anyways. But Hezbollah needs to act with a little bit more like restraint. They stayed quiet for a year while they were getting bombed, and they decided to shoot rockets when Khomeini was killed, dragging everyone into a war. Like, I'm sorry, man. People would much rather sit home and be safe. You know what I mean? In their homes rather than having to do this every 6 months. You know? But you guys know how I feel about this. Like, I'm not out here shitting on the resistance or like should be like they caused all of this. I'm not that kind of guy at all. Like it's so fucking gray and it's so fucking complicated. And at some point we have to put the people of Lebanon first. We have to think of the country as a whole. I don't know. It's so fucked. It's just so fucked. It's so fucked, you know what I'm saying? And I understand people that support Hezbollah right now. I understand people that are angry with Hezbollah. I understand everything. It's crazy, man. I wish it was simple. I wish I could give you guys like a nice clean take. You know, I wish I could give you guys a nice clean take. These are IDF attacks in Nabatieh, south of Lebanon. Again, just
Allahu Akbar. غارات هلا هون هزت الدنيا فينا.
Samsung says the IOF looks for excuses for PR reasons, no advantage if we take the bait. Exactly, we kind of took the bait. Like, if Israel would have still hit Lebanon, but at least we could have said like, hey, we didn't do anything. We just fucking sat by and they just fucking attacked us unprovoked. Not that it would have mattered. They would have constructed some kind of story to convince the world. They could have just said, wait, Israel discovered a plan, unveiled a plan for Hezbollah to attack on March 15th. They could have easily just said that and used that as an excuse to attack Lebanon. They're not waiting for anything real. You know what I mean? But Hezbollah just gave it to them. They just fired rockets into Israel and they just handed them the south on a silver platter. And they have weakened capabilities. Hezbollah know that they're weaker. They know that they can't defend Lebanon as efficiently as they were able to before. So they're also like playing with fire. They're like, hey, we can still do it. It's like, can you? Like, are you still able to? Like, why are you trying to test your might right now?
غارات النبطية مباشر الله أكبر غارات هلا هون هزت الدنيا فينا.
Gina, and I agree with Gina, the only culprit to truly blame for all this are the Epstein cabal. Exactly. Israel is the root of all of this. Israel is the greatest evil in this region. Israel is the greatest evil in the world. At the end of the day, none of this would be happening if Israel weren't around, if Israel wasn't created, if they weren't shoved down our throats. So 100%. Israel is the root cause. I will always blame Israel before I blame Iran. I will always blame Israel before I blame Hezbollah. I will always blame Israel first and foremost. Right now, it is the Israelis that are invading my country. It is Israelis that are killing Lebanese people. They are my enemy. They will try to make me turn against the resistance, and I might criticize the resistance, and I might say, hey, I disagree with this, or you shouldn't have done this, or this was fucking stupid. I can say that, but it doesn't mean I'm going to side with the United States or Israel ever against anyone in my own country. I will even side with my corrupt, murdering, evil government that has ruined my life and ruined my family's lives and countless Lebanese families' lives. I will even stand with them against a corrupt and evil American and Israeli government. Now and forever, folks. In a moment. Sorry. Jasmine is asking how is Hezbollah weakened. Well, Jasmine, Hezbollah got weakened by the war that happened with Israel. Starting with the pager attack, which was a terrorist attack within itself, which was horrible. But that exposed a massive intelligence leak in Hezbollah. A massive intelligence leak and a compromised intelligence. Hezbollah was infiltrated by every single level. How do you think Israel was able to know where all Hezbollah senior leadership was, where they lived, where they were hiding? They knew their schedules. They knew every single thing. The Mossad was able to infiltrate Hezbollah from the lowest level to the highest level. And it started with the pager attack, which incredibly weakened the Hezbollah. And then the war that happened here, they destroyed Nasrallah, they destroyed a lot of our weaponry, and now they've kind of neutralized Syria. So Hezbollah was using Syria to get weapons as well, and access to weapons that's been cut off. Hezbollah was weakened in many ways. A lot of the senior leadership was killed and hurt. They've been replaced, but they don't have the charisma or the experience or the authority or the credibility that the old leadership had. You know what I mean? So Hezbollah has been weakened. They're still very powerful. They still have incredibly trained soldiers and militants and fighters and resistance fighters. But Hezbollah today is a shell, is a former self of is a shell of its former self. So this was Nabatiye. This is Tyre, Lebanon, or Tyre, Lebanon. I'm sorry, it seems like random chaos that I'm showing you guys in destruction, but this is like all over South Lebanon. The same methods used in Gaza are being deployed in southern Lebanon to completely erase any trace of human presence and colonize new territory. Yeah, this is footage of only hours after reinvading southern Lebanon. Israeli terrorists began posting systematic annihilation of displaced Lebanese homes. Look at this. These are empty villages that have been evacuated in the south. Israelis are just destroying everything in their path. Homes, houses, all under the guise and under the excuse of Hezbollah strongholds or storing weaponry or storing ammunition, or these are sites that they used to launch rockets. Just look at that again. Look at that destruction. And these are villages that were just starting to get rebuilt. People had just started to rebuild their homes and going back, and Israel has been destroying their homes systematically again this past year. Here's a pretty sad story. Local reports indicate that a woman is trapped inside her home in the southern Lebanese village of Tal Nahas after Israeli occupation forces opened fire around the house and threw grenades from a nearby position. Her family is appealing to the Lebanese army and the Red Cross to help evacuate her safely. I have no update if she's been able to be evacuated, but you have people that are trapped inside their homes that haven't been able to evacuate, and they're asking for the military to help. I'm going to give you guys an example. For example, here. Hi, guys. My mom, her mom, and my aunt are stuck in the south. I'm trying my best to find them a place to rent. So if anyone knows anything, let me know, please. I'm seeing more and more messages like this on social media. People are struggling to find places to stay, again, because of many reasons. One, which we can talk about now. One, there's between 500,000 to like 1.2 million people right now that are homeless. There's not even enough houses to house these people in Lebanon. Two, some people are afraid to greet these people from the south because they're afraid that one of them might be like a high-level Hezbollah target, and by allowing them into their home or allowing them into their area, their area, whether it's Christian or not, might become a target of the IDF. And to give you guys an example, it just happened like yesterday. Israel has hit a hotel in Beirut, the first strike in a Christian majority neighborhood. The owner said the only casualty is their young receptionist. The hotel has been sheltering around 13 displaced families. We never imagined they could be targets, the owner said. So this is footage of that hotel in Beirut in a Christian majority area. Here you can see a little bit of tension following that. This morning, neighbors showed up and accused the owners, a family who lived in the hotel, of inviting this destruction by welcoming in displaced Shia. So now you have Lebanese people fighting amongst themselves, basically accusing each other, like, why would you allow this family of Shiites to come stay in our neighborhood and to bring this destruction over here? This is what Israel wants. They want to sow division and high tensions between Lebanese people, whether between Christians and Muslims, between Muslims and Muslims, they don't care. They just want tensions. So now, this is what people are afraid of. So look, let me mute this again. So this morning, neighbors showed up and accused the owners of inviting the destruction by welcoming in displaced Shia. They insist they only housed families, no individual men, and refute the notion that the targeted strike, which destroyed just one floor of the hotel, could have been aimed at a Hezbollah member. So let's watch. So they're literally mad at each other. They're like, hey, why are you helping these Lebanese people? Don't you know that it might bring death and destruction to our area? The way the tensions are so high, and you got to remember, guys, these people are probably all struggling financially. Everyone is stressed about work. They've all lost their savings in the economic crisis from a few years ago, COVID, everything. The blast in Beirut, these people have been through the fucking ringer. So tensions are already high. They're already stressed. They already have 100 fucking problems that they're dealing with. So these are not people that are like in their right mind. And now they're turning people against each other. Now people are accusing each other of helping others, and they're trying to de-incentivize other Lebanese people from helping people, from helping their Shia brothers and sisters. So this is going to cause a lot of stories like that woman who is stuck and trapped in her home in the south because she has no place else to go. Literally, there are people that have nowhere else to go. You know what I mean? There's going to be, okay, some public schools that are going to be open to use for shelter. There's going to be limited spaces in those places. They're not going to be able to house everyone. They're not going to be able to feed everyone. They're not going to be able to clothe everyone, to provide shelter for everyone. I've also read that the people are trying to come up with like some kind of ways to like, okay, how do we help without putting ourselves at risk? So some neighborhoods are only allowing like women and children, for example. They're not allowing any men. Like they mentioned, like the tweet mentioned, some people are trying to accept like only families, no single men. If there's like a single man who's trying to like rent a place, they're not giving them any place. They're trying to prioritize women and children. Like, it's a fucking clusterfuck. It's a fucking mess. It's a fucking mess. And they're trying to do the same in Iran. They're trying to do the same everywhere. So yeah, so a family in a building on Bshara al-Khouri Street in Beirut, housing people displaced by the current Israeli aggression, received an evacuation threat by phone, ordering them to distance themselves by 500 meters as the building would be targeted with an imminent strike. So it doesn't matter where you live at this point, Christian, whatever. If you're helping house people that have been displaced from the south, Israel knows what you're doing, and they might try to fucking bomb your home. This is what we're dealing with right now, man. And don't forget, this is Ramadan. I noticed that today. This is happening during Ramadan while people aren't eating, while people, you know what I mean, are worshiping and celebrating. They're doing this while it's fucking cold out and while it's Ramadan, while people have, you know, they're not even able to eat, to have enough energy to fucking deal with this. And instead of being able to celebrate and to pray and to worship in peace, the holy month of Ramadan is being turned, and also the holy month of Lent here in Lebanon for Christians, it's all being turned into a nightmare for these people. I know to some it's not important, but to a lot of people it is very important. So again, if anyone can help Badrophobia on Twitter, his mom, her mom, and his aunt are stuck in the south, and they need help. I'm gonna share this tweet in the chat. If anyone can help, shit. Also, another example of tensions rising in Lebanon. Here is a man yelling at two young men who were in a car. They were playing loud pro-Hezbollah music. This man, like, don't fucking play that shit in our areas. That's what he's yelling at them, essentially. He's like, don't fucking play that shit here. He's like, why are you raising the music? Like, why is the audio so loud? Why the fuck are you doing this? He's like, you don't do this in our area to try to provoke us. And he said, تستفزوا أيرنا. He's saying in a very vulgar way. He's like, you don't try to provoke our dicks here in our area. Now, it's unclear if this man is Christian, if he's a Sunni Muslim. It seems like it's not a Shia area, because he's saying, like, you don't come here to our area and try to provoke us with this music. So he's either Christian or he's either Sunni, I would assume. He's not Shia, he's not a Hezbollah supporter. He's yelling at these Hezbollah supporters for openly supporting Hezbollah and the resistance. The guy's losing his mind. He's like, Yalla ule'er, like, let's go, you fucking dick, get the fuck out of my face. This is scary, man. So this is just one example. The other example I just showed you of those families arguing in Beirut, like, why did you let this family move into this house? Why did you give them a hotel room? Why would you do this? Tensions are high. This is going to continue. This is going to get worse as more and more people are displaced, as more and more people are introduced to different communities. Things like this are going to happen, and they might turn violent. What if someone had a gun? What if this fucking guy who's yelling pulls out a gun or the guy told him something, or this guy cursed back at him. This could all lead to fighting, to escalation, to violence and bloodshed. Lebanon is in a very precarious position right now. We're in a very precarious position. Rania Khalid said this: Israel would love to stoke civil chaos in Lebanon. There are tens of thousands of displaced Lebanese, and there will be more as Israel widens its scope of attacks to usually safe places like Hazmiya and issues more displacement orders. Hazmiya is where we have the only IMAX screen in Lebanon. It's where I go to watch all my IMAX movies. It's in city center Beirut. Last time it was under threat and they bombed near it. Folks, we might lose our only IMAX screen. I know it's stupid and shallow, but like it's all we have. We only have one IMAX. We only have one IMAX. So they might widen their scope of attack to places like Hazmiya and issue more displacement orders. So far, over 100 villages have been told to evacuate. This is intended to make everyone feel unsafe and to fuel unrest. The Lebanese have no appetite for another war, and there is a great deal of anger at Hezbollah for entering. That's true. And there's even anger from people within Hezbollah. Again, I know we all support resistance, and but sometimes resistance has real life consequences. Okay, and it's more complicated than we think. Okay, and I myself, as someone who supports resistance, sometimes we pay the price for resisting, and there's a cost to resistance, and there is an inconvenience to resisting. But is resistance supposed to be convenient? No, it's not. My only concern is, I guess, like, let's try to resist once and for all. Like, why do we resist like for a month or two, then we take a break for a year, then we resist for a month or two, then we take a break, then some resisting, then some. It's like, either let's pick a lane. What are we gonna do? Are we fighting? Are we gonna be stooges for Israel and America, or are we gonna be free? It's like we just keep doing it again. We do the same dance every few months, every couple of years. And it feels like it feels like a rug getting just fucking, stripped from underneath you. Just constantly. That's the thing. Like, let's just fucking do it once and for all. But unfortunately, if we do it once and for all, I think Israel would just nuke us. So that's what would happen. But it's like this constant on and off, on and off. You rebuild your house gets blown up again. Well, you rebuild your house, well, your house gets blown up again. Well, we rebuild it again, well, it gets blown up again. Like, people can't do that anymore. People don't have the patience for that anymore. People are tired, man. People are tired. Hezbollah was already domestically weakened and blamed by many for what happened in 2024, and many in Lebanon see this latest Israeli escalation as Hezbollah's fault and even blame the Shia population as they're being displaced again. So there is also little appetite to even help the displaced this time around, and that is true. There is less appetite today to help the displaced than there was a year ago when we were at war with Israel again, because people are like, fuck this, why are we doing this again? Why did Hezbollah get involved? Why are we getting bombed again? Etc. Whether or not they're right to think that way, whether or not Israel would have done this, yes or no, people are just tired of this and they don't want to have to do this anymore. It's horrible and unfair, but it's the material reality that Israel wants to take advantage of. This is where we have to stay strong as Lebanese people. We can be like, this fucking sucks, this is fucking inconvenient, but let's not play into their fucking hand. And some Lebanese people are overly eager to just blame Hezbollah and like, fuck Hezbollah, you see, if only they'd stayed out of it. They refuse to see any of Hezbollah's side. They refuse to see the fact that, like, Hezbollah liberated the South. The Lebanese army never did anything to help liberate the South. As soon as the US and Israel asked the Lebanese army to withdraw from the South, that they fucking did it, which only strengthens the reason why Hezbollah should have weapons, or why we need to have an armed resistance in Lebanon, whatever you want to call it, whatever. If you want to restart a resistance from scratch, no problem, but we need an armed resistance in Lebanon. If the Lebanese military is not going to defend our territory, we need an armed resistance. There is no way around it. Israel knows that by bombing safe areas, Israel knows that bombing safe areas will be blamed by a lot of people on Hezbollah and the community they represent, and therefore risks sectarian infighting. Very dangerous. Exactly. It's just like the example that I showed you guys of that hotel. People blaming each other. Why would you even host these people? Why would you even give these people shelter? Don't you know that they bring nothing but trouble and destruction when they come to our areas? This is what we're dealing with in Lebanon. Very dangerous, very high stakes, very fragile. I don't know what to say, Elijah Magnier says, in Lebanon, Israel says it is targeting Hezbollah, Yet it is striking offices, financial institutions, the offices of Hezbollah MPs, and homes long vacated by operatives, even when these sites are located inside multi-story residential buildings. This pattern suggests the objective is no longer strictly military. It appears driven by retaliation rather than a necessity, enabled by access to US jets, munitions, and funding that allow the continued use of overwhelming force without clear strategic gain, just raising the price of reconstruction. And again, we are the victims. Who are the victims? Who pays the price? It's the people that are caught in the middle. It's the people that are caught between Hezbollah and that are caught between Israel. These constant on and off games. And like even Israel doesn't even have a clear objective. They don't actually, if they actually want to destroy Hezbollah, they would be going fucking even crazier right now. So, like I said yesterday, the relationship between Hezbollah and Israel is also mutually beneficial. Israel wants there to be a Hezbollah because it's a reason for them to always have a military interest in Lebanon. It's a way for them to constantly, we got to border the patrols, we got to see what's going on. And Hezbollah also needs Israel because if Israel does not exist, Hezbollah has no reason to have its weapons. And Hezbollah has become way too powerful, way too big. They become part of our government, and it's become their identity, essentially. So if there's no Israel, Hezbollah has no reason to be, but Hezbollah can't afford to not exist anymore because it's become a whole institution. It's become its own political party. It's a government within a government. So it's very complicated again. Oh shit, guys. Is this Courtney? No way. Guys, this person threatened to sue me. Should we watch footage captured by Courtney Bono, someone who threatened to sue me? She's like some American, Netherlands reporter who was honestly super fucking annoying on Twitter. Then she threatened to sue me. Then I exposed her on the podcast. Then she started like crying over, like, what? Don't threaten to sue. Like, stop talking about me on Twitter, on YouTube. I won't sue you anymore. Let's watch her. Let's watch her fucking video. Courtney Bono, I have not forgotten. Okay, go back to your own fucking country. Fucking staying here waiting for war. Courtney Bono. Yeah, I have not forgotten, Courtney. Okay, stupid piece of shit. She accused me of sexual harassment over Twitter. Guys, I called, okay, so let me just tell you the story really quickly, okay? Obviously I did no sexual harassment. So she was this reporter who was complaining about Lebanese people celebrating New Year's Eve while Palestinians were being bombed. Fair enough, right? But I was like, hey, like, why is this European lady telling Lebanese people how to live their lives and how to celebrate? Like, stay out of it. You know, fucking let us deal with our own fucking shit. We don't need a pretentious European journalist to tell us where to live. So she's like, I dare you to tell me that in person, Anthony. Why are you being so rude to me? I was like, hey, like, are you asking me out on a date? Like, why are you asking me to meet you in person? I don't want to fucking see you in person. I don't want to tell you anything in person. She's like, well, I'm sure you're just a coward. You refuse to meet me in person. I'm like, stop asking me out. Like, why are you telling me to hang out with you? She considered that, me saying like, hey, stop asking me out on a date, she considered that sexual harassment. She started saying, he's sexually harassing me. She sent me like a cease and desist letter, this whole fucking shit. So I talked about it. I did like 2 streams about it, just fucking exposing her. Then she started to reach out to people that knew me, that she knew, asking them to ask me like, please tell him to leave me alone. I have a son and I'm not doing well mentally. It's like, lady, you fucking came after me, Courtney Bono, and you're still in the country? Anyways, let's watch her video. Massive crowds at gas stations in Tyre. Look at that. So yeah, there's a gas shortage in Lebanon. People are panicking. Gas stations there's lines, long ass lines to get gas. Also, apparently people are lining up at supermarkets to get shit. Honestly, I've decided against stocking up on food and groceries. I've had to do that like 4 times in the past 5 years. More times than I ever thought I'd have to do that in my life. When COVID happened, people were going fucking crazy buying groceries. When we were at war, we had a couple of wars. There was a time where they stopped. Oh yeah, so at one point, also when the hyperinflation happened, they stopped shipping goods from abroad because no one had any more money, and the exchange rate was really fucked. So supermarkets were kind of empty for a while. So I stocked up like 4 times. I stocked up like 2 years ago with the other war. Like every few months, I'm done. I'm not stocking up. Okay, I'm not panicking. I'm not gonna panic buy. I'm not gonna buy a bunch of canned food that I'm not gonna eat. I already had a bunch of canned food that I bought during COVID that I never touched, and it was a waste of money. So I ain't doing that again. Okay. Yeah, it was literally a why are you obsessed with me kind of situation. It's like, lady, you went after me. Anyways, F this lady. And we got this fucking Zionist freak. This guy, I think it was Lebanese, but he lives in Israel. He says, hey, Lebanese Christians, you don't want the IDF to target your areas? Don't let Hezbollah in. How fucking depraved, how fucking psychotic do you have to be to tweet something like this? Hey, Lebanese, like, James Bond villains would not be caught saying anything like this. Like, you know what I'm saying? This man's more fucking unhinged than a movie supervillain. Hey, Lebanese Christians, you don't want the IDF to target your areas? Don't let Hezbollah in. ايري بامك يا اير كس امك بايري يا اخو الشرموطه جوناثان خوري زبر ايري كل ايري يا اير كس امك انت والصهيونيه والاسرائيليه كلهم يا خرا كس امك خريه بيتمك يا اير. Here is my cousin. This is my cousin. Josh Haddad is a political analyst. He has a take of 3 options that could happen in the South with Israel taking over the South. I happen to disagree with my cousin. I agree with what he's saying. I disagree with the order and what is most likely. So let's see what my cousin says. He presents 3 scenarios. I see 3 scenarios following the IDF's order for all Lebanese south of the Litani to evacuate. 1, he says the most probable scenario is going to be same as in 2024. The IDF orders evacuations to be able to pinpoint Hezbollah fighters more easily and turn the south into a battlefield. Every village and city becomes a legitimate Hezbollah stronghold, and any building is a target unless there is proof that it does not harbor personnel, weapons, equipment, or money. The IDF hovers between 5 and 15 kilometers, entering and leaving areas depending on the fighting. The IDF imposes air supremacy up to the Litani, 30 kilometers from the border, while using drones and artillery to take out anything north of the 15-kilometer buffer zone. It is safer than deploying infantry 30 kilometers into Lebanon and cheaper for their army. IDF hovers, but he's not saying that they're going to leave. Second, he says long shot. The IDF decides to deploy 50,000 to 100,000 troops between their northern border and up to the Litani and plunge South Lebanon into a total war. They suffer many casualties and the cost of the war rises dramatically, but they impose dominion over the south and inflict a severe blow to Hezbollah's remaining capabilities there. They reach the Litani River and negotiate a retreat after the end of the war. This is where I disagree with my cousin. He thinks that there's room for negotiating retreats still, where I think that time has come and gone. He puts way too much faith in like the US and Israel, and he doesn't seem to think that they're after the Greater Israel Project, unlike myself. And he says 3, which is the unlikeliest scenario for him, which is the likeliest scenario for me. I think that 3, what my cousin considers to be the least likely scenario, I think is the most likely scenario. He says almost impossible, but will depend on the dynamic with Syria. Israel launches a large-scale invasion and occupation of all South Lebanon, similar to 1982 and 2000. This would create a large buffer zone, but would also set the first stone for the creation of a new resistance movement, Hezbollah 2.0, that could dictate the military and security dynamic with northern Israel for the next 40 years. Hundreds of Israelis would likely be killed over the years through a guerrilla movement that would be extremely difficult to manage or eliminate. That's what I think is going to happen, honestly. I think they're in, and they're going to keep it. They want to create this large buffer zone, and they're not going to evacuate it. They're not going to even leave it up to Hezbollah or because they don't trust the Lebanese government, and they don't think that the Lebanese government can stop Hezbollah. So if they actually do want to stop Hezbollah, and if they're serious, and if they don't just want to redo this every couple of years, they're going to keep an Israeli military presence there. And I think we've lost control of the south, and that's what I think is going to happen. And I think that's what's going to happen, folks. My cousin continues to say, in all cases, as usual, Lebanese civilians will pay the heaviest price. Yes, houses can be rebuilt, but every house can be destroyed, every road, school, and hospital damaged, and every business paralyzed. It would be a heavy blow to hundreds of thousands of people who have already faced similar scenarios, at least 10 times since the 1970s. And also, finally, things are looking pretty hot in Syria. Just to make things worse, according to the Cradle, according to Reuters, Syria is deploying thousands of fighters to the Lebanese border amid the widening war in the region. And according to Kevork, he says, let me tell you what this looks like. As Israel tries to push deeper into southern Lebanon, Jolani, Syria is reportedly moving thousands of fighters to the Lebanese border. It looks like a pressure ring being built around Lebanon, and if Israel can't break Hezbollah directly, don't be shocked if the proxy Jolani puppet option is activated. So now Syria went from being like an ally of Hezbollah to an Israeli proxy. And now if Israelis feel like they need support, they might actually use Syria to enter Lebanon from the border and like offer support. It's fucking crazy. It's fucking insane. Kai the Suika says they're aiming for Litani as a first step for the greater Israel. That's what I think. I think that's it. Like they want to claim South Lebanon. That's it. They're ready to claim it and they're never going to give it back. Can you imagine Israelis returning land to someone? Let's see if there's anything just on CNN about this or like just a good news report before I let you guys go. Let's see what Al Jazeera is.
Israel on Monday in response to the killing of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. And the Pentagon has released footage of its submarine torpedoing an Iranian naval vessel in the Indian Ocean. The Sri Lankan deputy foreign minister said...
Well, let's see what's up real quick. Lebanon, Israel. Let's get some updates. Oh, this is the hotel segment.
As war threatens to engulf the region, Israel has carried out more airstrikes across Lebanon. The latest attack hit the Hazmiya area of greater Beirut. That's close to the presidential palace and the defense ministry. Earlier, Israel said it had targeted a building belonging to the Palestinian armed group Islamic Jihad. In southern Lebanon, Israeli attacks have damaged buildings in Saadiyat and Aramun. Elsewhere, 3 paramedics were killed and 6 others injured during rescue operations. An Israeli airstrike targeted a 4-story residential building in the eastern city of Baalbek. And earlier, Israel's defense minister authorized troops to take control of additional positions in Nour and maybe also early on Monday morning. We are following developments in Tehran, Washington, D.C., Qatar's capital, Doha, and Beirut, where Zaina Hodder is standing by for us. So, Zaina, we have been seeing these forced evacuation orders. We have also been seeing these strikes. Can you show us where you are? And maybe also just explain to our viewers the geography here, because, of course, we are used to seeing strikes in the southern suburbs of Beirut, but I understand you are not there, and this is something a little bit different. What do you know?
Well, the latest conflict between Israel and Hezbollah is escalating. There is no front line, and there is no mediation or diplomatic effort to end it. We are in Hazmiya. This is a suburb of Beirut. It's not considered a Hezbollah stronghold. It is not where Hezbollah supporters live. Behind me, the Comfort Hotel, which was targeted by an Israeli strike in the early hours of the morning. Now, this appears to be a targeted strike, an assassination. Of course, we cannot independently confirm that.
And the fact that it's a targeted strike and an assassination is going to make the people that like gave this person the room, rented the house, is going to give them so much pause the next time they're going to risk letting anyone else come to their hotel. They're going to be like, wait, the last time we rented a room, one of the people ended up being a Hezbollah target, and we know he was a target because they literally assassinated him. It was a targeted assassination. They just took out 1 floor from our hotel. So they are making people afraid to help other people. They're literally making Lebanese people afraid to help each other.
But we've seen similar attacks in the past when there's no prior warning and when there is a specific target hit. Now, we saw a similar attack also in the early hours of the morning in another suburb of Beirut, Aramun, also outside Hezbollah's area of influence. The death toll is only climbing. There was also another strike in Baalbek. So really in the past 36, 48 hours since the early hours.
Bad Lefty says it's to break solidarity. Exactly. They're trying to sow division, distrust between people so that we don't help each other.
Of Monday morning, since Hezbollah launched rockets across the border in retaliation for the killing of the late Iranian Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei, Israel...
By the way, thank you guys for today. You guys gifted 26 memberships, and so someone became a member as well earlier. We crossed our goal of 500. We are now at like 506 members. Thank you so much. You guys are fucking awesome. We love you.
Has only intensified and escalated its attack.
The Karine is still here from the last video, folks. She's still here.
Hezbollah, too, escalating attacks, claiming more than 10 attacks in the past 24 hours, reaching deep inside Israel, with Hezbollah claiming that it targeted a naval base in Israel's 3rd largest city, Haifa. So, this is only escalating, and there has been no statement by any foreign envoy to try to intervene, to try to mediate an end to the conflict, which is raising a lot of concern in Lebanon that the aim, that Israel's end game really is for Hezbollah to surrender its arms, to agree to disarm. But so far, there's no indication that the group is ready or willing to do so.
Zaina, I just want to ask you about...
The question becomes, if Hezbollah gives up their arms, if Hezbollah gives up their weapons, will Israel leave Lebanon alone, or will Israel see that as an opportunity to, well, look, the only defenders of Lebanon have now given up their arms. It's time for us to invade. It's kind of like, I never thought I was going to ever reference the Snyderverse, Zack Snyder's DC movies. But look at that. When Darkseid found out that the Kryptonian, that Superman had died at the end of Batman v Superman, he said, there's no Kryptonian. Like, now's the time to invade Earth. Like, the most powerful, the only person that could have defended Earth from Darkseid is dead. Now is my time to invade Earth. He waited for Superman to die. Is that what Israel is doing? You know what I mean? Is Israel just waiting for the only people that can defend us, which are Hezbollah, to go away so that they can actually invade? Or will Hezbollah giving up their weapons lead to peace like a lot of the right-wing Christians tend to think in Lebanon? That is the question. And to me, it's like, are we willing to take that risk? Are we willing to gamble with the Israelis? Are we willing to give up our only defense in the hopes that they're not lying to us and they've given up on the Greater Israel Project? That's the ultimate gamble. That's the ultimate gamble that we're making. You know what I mean? And I don't think Israel has done anything to prove that they're not genocidal fucking maniacs. And Haley D just gifted 4 memberships in the live chat. Just like randomly, just four chats. Just like four memberships. Now we're at 510. Was the 506 bothering you, Haley? 510. All right. Out of 6. Thank you so much, Haley. Wait, please stop. Everybody, please stop. I'm going offline in a second. Just enjoy the rest of the show. Then EU Watson just gifted 5. What's everybody doing right now? What's everybody going crazy in the chat? EU Watson with 5 gifted memberships. Everybody's losing their minds. We got 35 new members today. We are now at 515 members. Guys, this is not a subathon. The subathon is coming later in the month. Thank you, guys. You guys are amazing. That's it. I'm going to aim for a member stream Friday during the day, okay? I love you guys. You guys are way too kind. Way too kind.
The pictures that we're seeing there and the state of that building. It looks to me, again, it's hard for me to tell on my monitor, but that only 2 floors were actually affected here. So can you give us a sense of how much of the building was actually impacted by this strike? And do we have numbers on how many people were injured?
Well, yes, as you can see, a very specific strike targeting 1 floor. We've been speaking to the Lebanese army soldiers who are here. They're saying that there were 5 people.
That's a targeted strike, which makes it okay, folks. It makes it okay.
4 people were wounded, 1 in critical condition. They did not level the building. So we've seen this time and time again. Usually, when there are strikes that look like this, the Israeli army has information about the presence of somebody they want to kill. They have promised to go after Hezbollah members across the country. They've done this before. In late 2024, 8 weeks of a massive aerial bombardment, an aerial campaign, not just targeting Hezbollah strongholds. Back in late 2024, we saw similar attacks like this in the heart of Beirut, in Beirut city center. So, this is a clear message. And there's something else we'd like to point out. Hotels like this usually house people who are displaced, those who have the means to pay for hotel rooms. So after something like this happens, hotels will stop, admitting or allowing people to stay.
Yep, exactly. This is the plan. They want people to reject these refugees
and in their accommodation, which makes more pressure on the tens of thousands of people who are now seeking shelter.
Yeah, certainly a difficult situation there as you see people coming out of that building carrying.
These people are presumably leaving for their own safety or they're being kicked out of the hotel. They're like, hey, just get out. Take your shit and leave. Horrible. Look at this, man. We're like, where are these people supposed to go now?
Is that they have with them.
Where are these people supposed to go? Whoa, did I click on an ad? Yeah, I did. Crazy, man. We got live Associated. I'm not watching any more Associated Press. They fucked us yesterday. I showed footage of like an airplane flying out of our airport. They claimed my fucking video, those fuckers. Here's CBC. Israel sends troops into southern Lebanon. Okay, let's watch it.
view of so many scenes playing out across the region. Israel is stepping up its attacks on Beirut with new videos showing massive explosions, plumes of smoke. In the aftermath, some of the latest video shows rescuers staring down massive piles of rubble after strikes on the city's southern suburbs. Israel says the strikes are targeting the Iran-backed militant group Hezbollah.
Marmitiz Mex, love from Mexico, brother Anthony. Let's fucking go. Marmits MX, let's go.
And the CBC's Crystal Gomansing is reporting in Metula. That's in northern Israel, along the border with
Lemon Mint Cat. Hello.
Lebanon, where there has been a lot of activity. Crystal, you had to race to a shelter just last hour while air sirens rang, and we, of course, heard those loud bangs as well. Tell us a little bit more about what's happening where you are.
On camera. Northern Israel, and this is a location that is sort of in a sandwich position, dealing with two different threats. Not too far behind me is Lebanon. It is that close to Lebanon, and the majority of explosions that we are hearing is a part of Israel's campaign in Lebanon. There is an aerial bombardment that's underway. There has been multiple waves of airstrikes in Lebanon, in the south, but also in the capital, Beirut. And so when we hear these explosions, we never really know if it's something that is happening direct or if we're hearing it just because we are so close to the border. But we are also under threat.
Clay Ben says we thought this was all about Iran, not Lebanon. Yeah, you see, it's never just about Iran, Clay. You'd think a country as small and as inconsequential about Lebanon could just like slip through the radar and like just be ignored by the rest of the world. But no, we always have to be the center of fucking attention. It's do or die always. Like, just leave us the fuck alone, man. Let us eat our hummus in peace.
Because there are rockets that are being fired into Israel from Hezbollah, the Iranian proxy. And there's also the
Iranian proxy. How about Lebanese resistance, ya khirye? Piece of shit.
Potential for missiles coming from Iran. So we are paying attention to a number of different warning systems. Earlier, David Common was talking about the fact that at least here in Israel, there are different warning systems to give you a heads up so that you can seek shelter, so that we are trying to pay attention to. There was one situation earlier, not in Lebanon. Those strikes are under Tula border.
Too monotonous, lady. Too monotonous.
Fighting continues today between Israel and Hezbollah, shattering a months-old ceasefire. Israeli forces are operating in southern Lebanon.
Ceasefire? What ceasefire, man?
The IDF says its soldiers are there to defend Israeli civilians from Hezbollah attacks. The CBC's Crystal Gomansing joins me live from northern Israel near the border with Lebanon. And Crystal, what's happening there today?
Well, Andrew, just as...
Oh, fuck, it's the same lady. God damn it.
As you were introducing me, we heard one of those low thuds that is associated with an interception here in northern Israel, and it's the protection.
Crystal Gomansing? What? Damn, that's an interesting last name. Guman. Crystal Gomansing.
Of these sort of communities that Israeli officials are using as the rationale for sending troops in across the border into Lebanon. Now, again, for the second day in a row, Israel is accusing Hezbollah, the Iranian proxy, of targeting Israel with...
Stop saying Iranian proxy, you fucking piece of shit. It's a Lebanese resistance force. Hashtamli proxy. Khirye. Gooman bitch. Oh, sorry, guys. I fucked up. I just couldn't, guys. I can't. Like, we're being invaded right now, okay? We're being invaded right now. This fucking piece of shit is like, خلاص عيد بشكلك بعيدة. عيدة. Fuck. Button. Let me get the button. Okay, let me get the button. Button the B word. Let's button the B word, folks. I'm sorry. I can't button it. You see, Chris, we need to work on this thing ASAP. Okay? I'm sorry, guys. I shouldn't have said it. I'm angry. Okay? Literally, my country is currently being fucking invaded, and you have these fucking people doing propaganda. Look, you're in my country. Like, you're doing the propaganda from within the country. From within the fucking country, you're fucking lying.
projectiles. Now, Hezbollah traditionally has used rockets as well as drones. We have, there again, we have another thud going over. Officials are saying that they are trying to eliminate these threats that are coming from Hezbollah. And so they...
I apologize, guys. I did. It's not, there's no excuse for using the B word. There is no excuse. Okay, I could be very angry. I should not say it. I'm just... hard times here.
Sent in troops to take over or retake 5 positions in Lebanon, mostly along the southern border of Lebanon, as a defensive positioning to get ready should they need to act further. Now, in addition to sending troops across the border...
Why do people get mad? Strawberry was asking, why do people get mad about you calling her a B word? A girl asking. It's a very condescending word to be used to women by a man. I agree. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even think about it. I wasn't thinking about the concept as she's a woman. I was just calling her bad words because she's a piece of shit. Jim sends $2 and says, Anthony, have a cigarette. You know, the stream is almost done. I'll enjoy a nice cigarette afterwards. Okay.
Into Lebanon, they have also been launching strikes throughout the day.
Kai says she's a sharmuta. Thank you. Thank you.
We are told that
our list says you of all people have an excuse. Thank you. I appreciate that, guys. Thank you for being lenient with me.
More than 160 Hezbollah targets have been hit. Those strikes included a strike in the capital in Beirut. Israelis are saying they are taking out locations known to be associated with Hezbollah. We heard from Israeli President Prime Minister
Strawberry. I also bad lefty. Technically, I do like to use a bitch for men.
Pardon me, Benjamin Netanyahu, who said that Hezbollah is pulling the Lebanese government and the people of Lebanon into a war that is not theirs. But with that, he vowed to hit Hezbollah strong, saying those strikes are strong and are happening now, and that they will only intensify. With these operations across the border from where I am right now, they are also telling people to leave those southern communities. That is causing wide...
Let's see one more thing. Mass evacuation. Lebanon. Doesn't need to be all caps. I'm just trying to see footage of evacuations. Ali says, we love you, Anthony. You're good. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. Zaytoon0 says, she's such a female dog. For real. Yeah, I should use that, right? Lemon Mint Cat says, I'm so angry at the Lebanese government for abandoning the South. I am as well, Lemon Mint Cat. I am as well. There's so many things to be upset about. So many different factions to be upset about. I'm just trying to find. Let me scan my Twitter real quick, because Twitter, you got updates that are like this. We've been streaming for 2 hours and 35 minutes. That's already pretty decent. Okay, let's check Twitter. Breaking. This was 3 hours ago. Israel is raining bombs on civilian homes in Tyre, Lebanon. We saw this. That's so fucked. 40 minutes ago, from Elijah, Israeli official media, we are considering hitting civilian targets to put pressure on Hezbollah. If this happens, Hezbollah will be free to reciprocate. What? Are you fucking shitting me? Israeli official media, we are considering hitting civilian targets to put pressure on Hezbollah. Do they mean like more of the hotels and the civilian and the apartment buildings that they've been hitting, or like do they want to hit like cinemas and malls and shit like that? Is that what you mean? You fuckers, you fucking terrorists. My God, man. Okay, this is some footage of South Lebanon. Holy fuck, man. This doesn't even look real. This looks like little rocks that you step on. These don't even look like houses anymore. This looks like a hiking trail. Oh my God, dude. And this is probably parts of what they did in 2024 as well. Sarah says, I'm glad you started the live stream at around 7:40. Me too. I started a little bit earlier today. I want to try to start closer to 7 than 8:30 like I've been doing. It's a bit better. I can finish earlier as well. God damn, bro. Man. I'm scared to like even look through Twitter because like, what am I going to discover? Lily Allen wore a dress at her West End girl tour made of receipts showing things her ex, David Harbour, bought for other women. Interesting. The Quartering complaining about Angry Joe. Let's go, Angry Joe. The Israelis Broadcasting Authority quoted a security source. We are studying attacking civilian targets in Lebanon to pressure the government to restrain Hezbollah. Oh, so this is multiple people are saying this. Okay. God damn, bro. Okay, let me share this. I'll talk about this tomorrow. How do you read this and like maintain like, you know, positive attitude? Like, oh, they're going to hit civilian areas. How do you let's just stay home. No one leave the house. Anyways. Horrible. Anyways, folks. Yeah, I don't even know what to say anymore. It's fucked. Keep Lebanon in your thoughts. Keep talking about Lebanon. Keep spreading the word of what's happening. You know? Fuck, but if they're teasing like, hey, we're gonna bomb civilian areas, and they're just like teasing us, like it means nowhere is safe. It means nowhere is fucking safe. You know? Lebanon Cat says the blockade on Gaza is back. Jesus fuck. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I very much appreciate you all, everybody. But you guys were incredibly generous as well. Like I feel so humbled and like so unworthy of this. I mean, genuinely, we're gonna try to give back. I'm thinking of something to do either this month or next month to help displaced families in Lebanon. Okay, we did a fundraiser together a few months ago, and we raised $17,000 together. You guys raised $17,000 for Gaza. Let's try and do something for the displaced families of southern Lebanon. Okay. Thank you to everybody tonight who generously gifted memberships, who became a member, who subscribed to the channel, who left a comment, who liked the video. Thank you to everybody who sent in a super chat. Thank you so much, whether it was $1, whether it was $50. We love you and appreciate you. Thank you guys so much. I will be back. Today's Wednesday. I'll be back Thursday and Friday. I'm live streaming the rest of the week, and we'll be back on Sunday, hopefully, with our guest, Sean the Black, on Better Left Unsaid. Let's go with Comrade Casey and James from Uninformed Leftist. So, and I'm going to try to do a member stream on Friday for main channel members. Gaming members, I'm sorry if I'm behind. I'm going to try to make up for that. It's just hard to play video games right now, but I think I need some Dark Souls for my soul. Much love to everybody. Let's fucking go. Let's just play the Lebanese anthem before I let you guys go. How about that, yeah? How about that? Let's play some of the Lebanese anthem. Let's go. 10,452 كيلومتر مربع يا اخوات الشرموطة. It's never gonna change.